Welcome. The show you're about to listen to is part of the Hopped Up Network's growing family of craft beer podcasts in the U.S. and Canada. Find this show and others like it at hoppedupnetwork.com, the spot for informative and entertaining craft beer podcasts.
Hey, Al, you ready? Let's do it.
I got this. Okay. I got it. Okay.
I got some beers. Let's drink them, huh?
If you really want some film at 11, why don't you follow me down to the brewery? I'll tie a bowling ball to my ankle, dive in the vat of beer. I'll leave this world the same way I entered my marriage, dead drunk!
Hello?
Want a beer?
Hook it up!
Yeah. Hook me up!
Y'all heard, take it from the top. 1, 2.
Beer?
This is how we do it.
My mic sound nice, check 1. My mic sound nice, check 2. My mic sound nice, check 3. Are you ready?
That's cute. I remember when I had my first beer.
You like parties? Yeah. We can invite all our friends and have soda and pie. Yeah. I hope no bad people show up.
My mic sounds nice, check 1. My mic sounds nice, check 2. My mic sounds nice, check 3. My mic sounds nice, check 4. My mic sounds nice, check 5. My mic sounds nice, check 6.
Are you ready? You want some of this milk?
I'd rather have a beer.
What do you guys give me if I kill that bird? Barbara, that's a bald eagle. Get away, Baldy! Yeah!
Holy shit. Good evening, everybody. This is The Wort with Mike and Pete in my radio voice, as I most likely am going to start just popping mics on here. Just leave them up a little bit. It's Wort with Mike and Pete, GovsRadio.com. We're live here at the beautiful Governor's Radio Studio at Govs Radio Live in beautiful Levittown. Beautiful Levittown. Oh, boy. And here tonight with us, we have some folks that you're going to meet, get to know, and have some fun with. First of all, let's give out the information. We are right now streaming live on Facebook, live on YouTube, and on our home station, GovsRadio.com. So go over to GovsRadio.com and go to Watch Now, and you can watch the video. Or if you're in the car and you can continue listening to the audio, go to GovsRadio.com and then go ahead and click on Listen Now. Amazing how that works, isn't it? Also, we are part of the Hopped Up Network. So tomorrow when we edit this down and put it back out there, it'll be in podcast form with a lot of the breaks and the nonsense kind of cut out. And so I invite everybody to go download it. Find us on iTunes, Spotify, Laughable App, Hopped Up Network. And, of course, we'll re-edit the video as well for YouTube. So, again, we're done with nonsense. All right, very quick sponsors. So we're starting to finalize contracts with some new sponsors in the craft beer scene. We'll start by talking about Tavour. Tavour, it's your beer in a box delivered right to your house. Go to Tavour, type in the promo code WORT, W-O-R-T, and receive some sort of cash off your first order, and then who knows what the hell happens after that. Shirts on tap. Yep, shirts on tap. Go to Shirts on Tap and get your get your shirt. I mean, pretty much, you're not going to get pants at Shirts on Tap, though it would be pants on tap then, wouldn't it? I would imagine. Yeah, I would think so. That would be the way to go. So go to Shirts on Tap and subscribe today. Get your first order for $13.99, and then after that, your first order for $5.99, and after that, it's $13.99. It's a discounted rate. Promo code WORT. Everything's promo code WORT, so make sure you do that. Let's go to taphandles.com, sponsoring tonight. I gave one to, yes, there it is. Hey! Gun Hill will be sporting that on there. Tap handles. And then they'll take it off like everyone else does. But yes, taphandles.com for your small, customized tap handle needs, as well as your large capacity brewery needs. Go to taphandles.com. Also, Hartwell Wood Shop. Who else am I missing? Bunch of people, probably. I can't think of. Tavour we did. Shirts on Tap. My Bomber Jackets. He hasn't really hooked me up for anything lately, but we gave out a lot of crap for him, so I still say his name. And also, we are going to pick up, probably going to pick up Drink Aid and 2 others that were in contract talk. So I'm actually...
Physics yet?
Physics said no. Physics is not doing any advertising. They said they're only doing social media advertising. But keep up the good work and showing your physics machine. I said, yeah.
Maybe not.
Yeah, no, I will. I love that thing. I mean, I'm not going to promote it like that, but I love it. So if you want one, go get one. I got mine really cheap. They had like a special deal right before Christmas. I'm like, yep, I'll take that.
Mine.
So thank you to all our sponsors. And, of course, today in the studio with us, as I hit the post, as they say in the industry, we have some guests in the studio. Of course, tonight is not Pete in the studio, as you can tell.
Because now I'm...
Yeah,
that's the sexy co-host.
Yeah, now I bring the sex in. Bringing the sex back into the show. Steve Pominski from Barrage Brewing Company.
Yeah.
No,
I remember that place.
Yeah, remember that place?
Yeah.
I had such good times there.
So, me too.
You had more than I did, I would imagine.
Oh, yeah.
Just a couple. And so, Pete, congratulations. He had his son on, I believe it was Saturday. So, big shout out to Pete. He'll probably call in at one point and just say hi to everybody. But he's home helping his wife manage 3 children now. So
he's he really can't pull his hair out.
No, he doesn't have much of that. No,
unless it's his pubes and
right. Well, there's a big backstory on that. I'll have him tell it, but not the pube part. Not the pube part. I promise. I promise. There's no. We're not going to talk about pubes. And also, I don't know if he's listening, and I know I didn't return his phone call because I was very busy today. There's a whole story behind that. But Anthony Grazio's birthday is tomorrow.
Whoa.
So he might stop in the studio, and I have a little surprise for him if he's listening. So now I watch immediately. He's going to call in. What do you got for me, Mikey?
Yeah. How old is that curmudgeon?
He's in his 50s, 53, 54.
Really? He's really
curmudgeon.
He's really aged badly.
He's getting there.
You heard that, right, Graz?
Yes.
Any moment.
Also in the studio with us, our guest today, we have Dave from, I forget what you said the title was.
Just co-owner.
Co-owner of Gun Hill Brewing Company up in the Bronx. And what's the actual town? Is it just Bronx?
It's Bronx.
Yeah, it is. All right. So the Bronx. And if you haven't been there, you got to go. We'll talk a little bit about that. And the man behind the Instagram posts of 1900 now plus breweries, I guess.
1875.
He's keeping track like a son of a bitch.
He's like right on
I know, he knows. He's posting every single one of them.
Well, I get asked that question probably about 5 times a week.
I would imagine.
Years you been to, so.
Yeah, there it is. And now you got to keep up with it, though,
yeah,
too.
Exactly, yeah.
You've been on a big trip, and we'll get to that. So Chris from Brew York, Brew_York on Instagram. Check out the thousands upon thousands of breweries that he's been to. And we brought you in, and I there's a funny story for anyone who gives a shit. I didn't know you guys knew each other so much so that you could carpool. So as I'm communicating with both of them independently and finding out and coming on the date and figuring it all out, I get a phone call from you guys when you showed up, and you both get out of the car. Now I'm assuming, and I've seen pictures of you on Gun Hill and the award ceremony and stuff like that, so I kind of knew the face. I didn't know your face, so I thought maybe you're just associated with the brewery. And he's like, no, I'm Brew York. I'm like, oh, fuck. Well, we never exchanged first names or anything like that. So I was like, all right, cool. This is fine. And then I made the connection. So finally put it all together. Yeah, and I said I probably shouldn't ask you too much about Gun Hill because obviously you're going to have some.
It's a fantastic brewery.
Yes.
And I'm not just saying that
because he drove you there.
Right. Otherwise you're walking your ass off.
Yeah. It's a long walk back to the Bronx.
Long walk back to the Bronx, baby.
That goddamn Triborough is long in and of itself. But thanks a lot for coming out, guys. I know it was a bit of a trip all the way from up there, and coasted in. Well, hopefully you can coast right home. And just to kick off the show, I want to let you know at this point, I have had a babysitter lined up for my kids, and 45 minutes before I left my house, I was canceled on. So to get me here, which mattered a little more, is to get this open and not waste your trip down here and call you halfway down. I'm like, they already left probably.
Yeah, they would have killed you.
Yeah, they would have killed me, and I felt so bad. But I was able to make things happen, shuffle some people around, and we made it work. So I'm glad this all came to fruition tonight. So with that said, anyone that wants to join the show tonight, give us a call, 516-465-3990, 516-513-0515. Phone lines will be open all night. Call in, talk to the show, hang out with the boys, and enjoy in the laughter and the festivities. So let's kick it off right away. Not bad, 9 minutes. Did it pretty good. Doing pretty good 10-minute intro, yeah. I'm trying to keep on point because bigger picture here, just to throw it out there, I want to go to a bigger market, bigger bigger stream,
Bigger, better,
audience because I think we let it go a lot. You've been here for a lot of shows.
Yes, I have.
And you know how it gets.
It's
yeah.
People have brought things up to me.
Yeah.
Like I'll see them somewhere and they're like, "Man, I heard that you that really happened to you." And I'm like, "What?" And they bring up, and I'm not bringing it up again because I didn't even realize I said this thing. And I'm like, "I said that on the air? Oh my God, what the hell was I thinking?"
What, not last show?
No, this was like,
oh really?
Yeah, like 4 or 5 shows ago.
Oh boy,
like early on, and I was just like, I really should have never let that one out.
Was it when we put you in the corner back in the old configuration?
It might have been. Oh yeah, I think it was.
It might have been. Yeah. So he would come in as a guest host, but we had a stool sitting over there, and this wasn't here. It was more a table right here, and we'd have our guests around the table, and then we'd throw Steve this mic and just throw him over there. He goes, "I'll just be here drinking," and he would just sit in the corner drinking, and then every so often you hear, "Puddle assholes." Like what's a puddle asshole? I don't know what that is. He just. So there's probably something along that lines that you. It's probably worse than that.
It was a personal experience.
Oh really?
Yeah. And I was like, I really should have never said that.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah, well.
Well, anyway,
my wife will get over it.
Yeah,
I mean, well.
So anyway, Dave, I want to talk to you a lot about Gun Hill. Obviously, I've been to the brewery. We've enjoyed the beers for a very long time. Let's start off the show by talking about the history. As far back as it goes, you can remember the people involved, and then how that transformed today. And then I got some current event stuff questions for you. So why don't you start off with that?
So the brewery started. My partner Kieran and I started the brewery 6 years ago.
It's been that long.
It'll be 6 years in March. Yeah.
Jesus.
We met playing on a men's baseball team when I was in college, and he was a little out of college. But we both worked in. I worked in finance. I still do work in finance. He worked in consulting, and we had another teammate of ours who was a home brewer.
Okay.
And he brewed all the beer for his own wedding that I was at, and I had said to him,
"That's always fun."
Well, I was like, "Hey, this is pretty good. Have you ever thought about trying to sell it to somebody?" And he was like, "I've thought about it, but I don't have the time to do it."
With the background in finance, you're like, "Let's make money on something."
Well, that's what I was
Everything
thinking.
looks like dollars. It should be.
Yeah, it doesn't always work out that way, right? But right.
It doesn't always work out that way. You had to bring it up.
Here we go.
No, I'm commiserating with you.
No, he wouldn't be here if he wasn't willing to expose everything little by little over the course of the next season.
Yeah.
By the way, he's coming down to AC Beer Fest with us.
AC.
Yeah, that's going to be a dude. We were there for one session. Oh, I'm sorry, we were there for 2 sessions, but one day it was crazy. So I'm just throwing it out there. And now you and I are going to be down there together for the first session, and then Pete's going to join us in the second 2 sessions.
Was that Newfound Glory playing?
Oh,
yeah.
Newfound Glory, Goldfinger, and Against Me. It's not a bad line.
He was Goldfinger for me.
Me too.
I was just like, oh my God.
I haven't seen him since like 1998 Boston Warped Tour. I was up in Boston and saw him there, and that's it. That's the only time I've ever seen him. And they're not the same band, but they're going to have probably the makeup now is like superstars. He's put together like a superstar band. If anyone knows the scene, their albums is Travis Barker on the drums, which a lot of people know if they know anything about anything rock or rap related at this point. The guitarist from Story of the Year, Mike Herrera, the bassist from MXPX, a Hall of Fame punk rock band. That's Goldfinger nowadays. It's crazy. And then they have the horn section from Real Big Fish sometimes.
That's awesome.
Or whoever the ska band is relatively close, and that's just a crazy compilation of people. And he still just releases it under him. It's basically all John Feldman.
You guys should do the AC Beer Fest.
AC Beer Fest. Long Island will be down there.
It's been on my to-do list for a long time. It's always dependent on the bands. So
yeah, it does. Last year wasn't that great.
No, it wasn't. So this year's lineup looks really tempting.
When
much
is
better. April 3rd and 4th. Yeah. I don't know, like vendor-wise what's required, but we're part of the Hopped Up Network, who the people that run that are in New Jersey. Mm-hmm. So last year, I get a phone call from them going, "Hey, you want to do AC Beer Fest?" I'm like, "What's that?" I had never heard of it. And they said, "It's the biggest beer fest, relatively speaking, on the East Coast or Northeast." I think Extreme Beer Fest was pretty big back in the day. It was at the Seaport. It's not as big now. Like, did you see the pictures from Extreme? It's not as big.
Well, they got moved to a different
they
had to move to a different location.
The Seaport was just a shit show. Huh?
They were doing construction or something.
Oh, man.
Dude, that was a warehouse. You think about old school Nassau Coliseum.
Oh, God.
But like twice the size, filled with brewers. Filled the first year I went. A long time ago. Probably like 7 or 8 years ago I went. That you couldn't complete in a single session. You had to come back multiple sessions to have everything if you wanted to. But anyway, yeah, they market it like that, and it's a really cool event because it's all places that I've never heard of. I'm starting to now since I went down there last year. But again, for me, and just like I love my Long Island breweries, I like to experience new things, as Chris may know, which I'm turned into a career for him at this point. Trying he's the Pokemon master of craft breweries. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
He's collecting them all.
He's got to catch them all. He's got to drink them all.
And I'm just starting to catch on to that because now every family vacation revolves around what's in that area and what can I go to.
I'm sorry, hon.
Yeah.
If my wife's listening,
yeah,
that's how it always goes.
Yeah.
My kids now are like, all right, so we're thinking about going to this. So we know there's like a few breweries you might want to. They're already.
They already listed it out.
They're already like, all right, so if we go there, we know we looked up there's these breweries, so you can hit those.
Are they drinking age yet?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So that
but they don't even drink beer. They're like, Trulies. And,
White Claw.
Yeah.
They're
Claws.
Merry Clawmas to them.
Well, that's the way that I ended up like coming into this whole thing of like
White
visiting
Claw?
breweries. No, like going on vacation.
Like,
going on vacation.
If you did, you screwed up because somebody beat you to it.
He finished up his Tennessee weekend with some White Claws.
Now I hit every seltzery in the no.
Seltzery.
No, absolutely not.
Is that really a thing now?
No, there's a couple.
Is
there's
there?
a couple. Yeah.
Seltzeries.
In fact, a brewery that I had previously visited in Seattle on this last trip had become a seltzery.
They dumped all their beer.
Exclusively do seltzers. Yep.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, I know, like even around here, Dubco did a seltzer.
Either that or
pretty good, actually.
I didn't have it.
that
It was good.
Yeah.
Did it have any malt backbone, or was it just clean?
No, it was clean.
Yeah.
Well,
I see. But I like any of the we're drinking the lager right now, correct? Is
the
that what-
light lager.
The light lager. It has a little bit of the malty backbone that I like in any beer. So I don't know what I would do without it. And I've had a Truly, and the flavor's just a little too much. But if it's a dry flavor with a little bit of heavy backbone, I think it would be more into it. I could do a clear drink. It's just I need the flavor to be right.
No.
Right, no, that's true.
Well, you can mix it with these hard seltzers.
Yes, you can.
That's right. And up the ABV from 5% to 47%. Jesus Christ. So anyway, sorry, going back to where you were. So this is the kind of stuff that happens here all the time. We didn't even start drinking that much yet. Cheers, by the way. I'm sorry. I never really got to that point.
Cheers. Yeah.
In our half-empty glasses.
So I went to this wedding. I said, hey, if you ever decide you do want to.
Nope. Yep.
I figured this would be a good one.
Is this the same light lager?
It's the same one. If you
Okay,
want to
yeah.
save it for later, you can.
You want to do
more left ready.
All right, we'll go into something else. I got some other stuff too, but I just wanted you to.
I really brought it because I thought Chris might want to have that later on.
Oh, okay. I'll hold it.
Wait, why me?
Because I know you like something a little clean sometimes too.
I do.
We usually don't start the breakdowns of stuff until later in the second session, or the second break. So I'll start pulling some stuff out of mine in between, and then we'll go back to that one, and we'll do the big full thing. So, all right, get it.
So I fast forward a couple years later, he calls me up and he's like, "Hey, remember when you said this? I'm ready to I'm ready to leave my job and open a brewery."
Right.
And so I said, "Okay, well, I could probably help you find some people to raise some money, and definitely want to be involved." And it was during baseball season, so my current partner and I were still playing. And the more research we did, we were like, there's only 5 or 6 breweries in New York City right now, and there are 84 in San Diego. Like, there seems to be a little bit of a disconnect. And
At that time, yeah.
Yeah. So we're like, clearly New York City can support more breweries, or New York in general, the New York metro area can support more. So we started doing our research, trying to put a plan together, and we could never really come to terms as a trio because the guy who was making the beer, he's still a friend of ours, but he wanted a little too much control, a little too much money. He wanted to be paid
up front.
No. He wanted to be paid to do everything,
like on a salary.
Yeah, and it was and it made sense for him. He was leaving his job. He needed to make sure he was
full-time brewing. You need some sort of support.
But he had a warped vision of what the salaries are in the.
There are quite a few people like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're not a millionaire.
I deserve
How
to.
can you?
You know how much money you're making? Really?
Yeah.
What, after the electric bill, the gas bill, the
rent, insurance?
Insurance is the killer.
And then but my partner and I were like, you know what? We've done all this work. There's, as we said, there are so few breweries here. Like, what if we just go and we get someone that actually knows how to make beer, has been doing it, will run the business side of things, and have a different approach than a lot of people because we've got this background in business and consulting and finance.
So it's almost looking at it in a different way that other people are doing. Let's start the brewery and then outside hire, like a hired gun.
Yeah.
Gun Hill.
Yeah.
But get a hired gun that would be able to come in and brew the beer as we run the business and market it and brand it and stuff like that.
Yeah, to kind of take it away from a lot of the companies that open up with the brewer opening it or someone who is the artist opening it who knows how to make a good product but doesn't necessarily know how to do the back end of things.
Right.
So we were looking at it from a different angle. We hired our first brewer, had been in the business for 20 plus years at the time. He had been in New York City before in the industry.
Okay.
So we felt it was a good.
What did he work for a brewery? Does he have a good resume? What was his background?
Yeah, he had won a bunch of GABF medals previously. He had been, I think at the time, he'd already been at 3 or 4 different breweries.
Oh, okay. So it was.
Like I said, he had.
What do you call that? Not a marathon. Migration. I don't know. It's something like that. It was one of those words that describes somebody. He's a journeyman.
Journeyman.
Boom. Got it.
Look at that.
I didn't. Well. Once I start drinking beer, I'll never be able to
But he
get
wasn't
there.
really a journeyman because he'd had some longer stints at all these places. So it wasn't
I
like,
see.
Like he'd been
Just
doing
bouncing.
It for,
He was
been
actually
doing it for over 20 years.
Yeah,
so it wasn't, there were some extended stints there.
Okay.
He wasn't the Ryan Fitzpatrick of the world.
I like it. Tied into sports. Wait till Graz gets here. It's all about sports.
It usually is for me too. But
yeah.
And so we hired him. Within 6 months of opening, we were fortunate enough to win he won another GABF medal. We won a GABF medal within our first.
Score.
Yep.
I mean, big score.
Yeah, no.
Hired the right guy, came through.
Yeah, we hired the right guy in that sense. We didn't hire the right guy in other senses, and within a year and a half later, we were moving on to somebody else.
Mutual?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
No.
Same reasons as the first guy?
No, the first guy
overvalued or undervalued?
No,
all right.
You kind of have to listen to your bosses.
Yeah, yeah.
So no, not the same reasons at all,
and not brought on as an equal partner share.
No,
just brought on as an employee, hired person,
completely brought on as an employee. Yeah,
cool. And that was obvious from the start. When he started, he knew that going in.
Yes.
So yeah, it was definitely his fault. Okay.
You're going to get me in trouble.
Someone
that knows him is going to watch.
Oh, yeah.
And then the next thing you know...
We'll just say it's Timmy O'Toole.
Well, no, they won't, but they'll...
Timmy O'Toole who fell down a well. That's sort of
the nasty Yelp reviews out of nowhere or the nasty comments on social media.
Pay no attention to any of that shit. If you're listening to this show, none of those reviews or any of the old bullshit matters. Go in and see for yourself and get your own fucking opinion. Stop looking at everyone's opinions. Unless you're getting siding on your house done.
Then listen to everybody.
That's some important shit. The roof. But if you just want to taste the beer, just go to the fucking brewery and taste it, man, and stop worrying about it. Jesus. Should I go to the Bronx today? Because this lady from Chattanooga that visited Gun Hill said she had a bad experience in the bathroom. She's an asshole. That's what the problem is. That's the problem. Happy typing people. Angry typing people.
Gotta love them.
I fucking hate them. Thank God I'm not a business owner. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, seriously.
Not something I wanted to even do, to be honest with you. But, I've seen the trials and tribulations as being a 20-year bartender, seeing restaurant businesses forever, and I know. It's just so annoying. So you parted ways with this gentleman.
Yep, and we brought on a guy who had been working in Brooklyn at Greenpoint Beer and Ale.
Oh, nice.
For a few years. He'd helped them open it, and he's been working with us for almost 4 years now.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Is Ryan Cook, didn't he work at Greenpoint at one point?
Greenport, I believe.
Port. Oh, he worked at Greenport. I thought it was Greenpoint. Hey, you're probably right. I don't know shit.
I don't either.
Greenport, Long Island.
Yes,
Greenpoint.
Greenpoint is Brooklyn. Yes.
And at one point, there were 2 breweries that went by Greenpoint. And
yes. Oh, really?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Wow. So it was not exactly the easiest.
None of those
way.
phones look like they're working. I'm probably going to get... Hold on. All right, we'll do it at the break. Fuck it. I got it. There's literally
Sorry, Graz. I know you're trying to call.
There's zeros with the line through it in it. Not good. But he hasn't texted me, so that's all right. I don't give a shit. I'll go restart the machine later. Someone touched something along. It wasn't you. It wasn't you. Although if I hit the block, where's the block button here? Block wall. Hey, they're open. Look at that. Yay. You know what? Fucking keep them off. Graz, if you're listening, I undid the phones, and if you call, you can actually get through now. Let's see how fast it takes him to do it. Pete, too. So this guy, he's still with you at this point?
He's still with us, yep.
Oh, awesome. So is he basically settled in? Did he bring over his own recipes? Like, how'd the transition go?
Yeah, I mean, so we still had a couple of core beers that we continued to make.
And now, and stop me, because I don't know this. When you come out with a beer, do you own the recipe? Does the brewer now have rights to that recipe? Like, how does that all work?
I mean, there's nothing to stop someone from going and making something
pretty much
exactly the same.
Right.
But technically speaking, it is the brewery's property.
Is the brewer's property or brewery? Okay.
Brewery.
And so that includes obviously the name.
Unless you have it, if you don't have a name trademark, then anyone can take it.
And now, how does that process go? We never really see. There it is. Nope, that's not him. I don't know who that is. We'll get them on in a second. So how does that process go? When you want to trademark a name, is it something you have to register for?
I mean, at this point, it's people are making so many different beers, and it costs money to trademark.
Yes. Oh, it sure does. Yeah.
So it's almost not worth it unless you know you have a home run name and a home run beer.
Okay.
And you're going to continue.
So then just make sure you're not infringing on someone else's.
Right.
Release it, and then if it takes off, see if you can go backwards and trademark it.
Right.
Got it. All right. So that makes sense. What were we gonna say?
Yada yada yada. We trademarked.
Oh right.
that.
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah.
And there were many other breweries that tried.
And you can
but that was a big
pull it right out from under them, right? There it is. There's the Graz. Graz, what's going on, buddy?
I didn't call you before.
You didn't? Oh, I had the phone lines blocked for some reason. I don't know why. And someone just called on the line that you just called on and hung up as I put them on. So whoever just called.
That's fucking probably Dennis Murphy or probably Pete to tell you that the baby's out.
No, it's neither one. Now we have caller ID, so I can see who's calling. It's fantastic. See?
Well, what is this, the less than greatest beer show with Steve Pominski?
Yes, exactly.
Of course, Graz, of course. Hey, so tomorrow's your birthday?
Tomorrow's my birthday.
Bro.
I turned 54.
How old? 67? 68?
54, you dick.
54, huh?
Yeah.
Are you coming by tonight?
Can I come by? I'm dropping the two girls off at 9 o'clock after I put them in the trunk.
Again with the girls.
Oh, my God.
Again,
they're in the back. They're in the trunk again.
More bodies in the trunk. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll be here.
He's literally the Gilgo Beach killer. But he'll put it together.
He'll be on the news saying he's so upset and he didn't do it, but you know that motherfucker did it.
I didn't fucking do it, Fred. Well, who's in the studio there, dumbass?
All right, so in the studio tonight, we have Dave from Gun Hill up in the Bronx.
Hello, Dave from Gun Hill. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
So Anthony Graz today works and owns a car service, and I'm sure he's probably been in and around the area where the brewery
is. Not the greatest area in the world.
No, actually, the one by him is not bad. I not one thought went through my head being up there. So it's right by the Bronx Zoo.
Right. Oh, all right.
It's not so bad.
Gorillas and guns.
Yes, that sounded a little racist, but I know what we were talking about because you're dialing off the zoo part, so we'll keep it that way.
Yes.
Okay.
And who else?
Did I just make it racist by saying that? Shit.
Awkward.
Oh, man. Anyway, and also in the studio is Chris from the Instagram brew_York. If you wanted to check him out, he's been to 1,874?
75.
Shit, I was right there.
You were so
1,875.
close. You were so close.
I was. I knew it was 18, and then I knew 7, and then the 5 fucking threw me off.
1,875 what?
Breweries.
Oh, breweries.
Yes.
All right. Wow, Chris, where's your favorite one?
Where's the what?
Favorite one.
Where's his top one out of 18?
It's going to be Gun Hill.
No.
Say Gun Hill. Say Gun Hill.
Yeah, it's Gun Hill.
Say Gun Hill.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you walk.
If you listen to the top of the show, they actually carpooled here, unaware that I was unaware that they knew each other, and they ended up figuring it out and coming together.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So it's all fucking one happy family.
Yeah, exactly. As it always is here at the Wort.
So, out of the 1875, who is the worst? Say Gun Hill. Say Gun Hill.
Nice one.
There were too many bad ones.
Yeah, really.
There's too many bad ones. But the funny thing is, there is one brewery that my friends and I refer to as the level by which all other breweries are judged.
Good or bad?
Bad.
Okay, I like that. Don't mention the name just yet.
I'm not going to mention the name. I'm not going to mention.
We'll do it off the air, and then I'll see if you can tease
off
that.
the air. I want to know this.
I want to know this. Like
I want to know the it on Long Island?
It's not on Long Island.
Oh,
it's
all
in
right.
Virginia. So
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, my
all
God, family in Virginia. I was just in Charlottesville. I just fucking visited.
right. You might have been there and been like, this place is great. And then had a Coors Light.
I mean, that was 7 years ago. They might be better now.
Oh, yeah. Well, I would hope so.
Yeah.
They learned from their mistakes. I'm sure they got a bad Yelp review and changed all their equipment.
What town in Virginia?
I
It's
guess I could say it's in Richmond.
Okay.
There's enough breweries
there.
There's
yeah.
enough breweries in Richmond that I can say it's in Richmond. And,
But are there enough that have been open for 7 years?
Actually,
Someone's not gonna be letting the doors anymore.
I actually think that might have been the only brewery in Richmond.
Oh shit! We'll look that up in a little bit.
Man, let me get on that.
Can I ask you why it's the worst brewery?
Yeah, why was it the worst? That's a good question.
Thanks, Mike. I just got into this radio thing.
Well, your phone cuts in and out a little bit. That's why. So I just was repeating and being nice.
Okay.
So they had 15 beers on tap.
Okay.
My buddies and I each did a flight of 5, so we could try all 15.
Okay.
14 of them were just poorly executed beers.
And now was it
bad
flat?
Yeah.
Was it flat
I mean, like
and funk and
just
tart
the
and-
entire run the gamut of flaws in the beer, whether it's either undercarbonated or overcarbonated or has off flavors. Just there was just nothing redeemable about it.
But you gotta let the boss know that one. You gotta go up and say, listen, you got 15 beers on tap. 14 suck ass.
No, I'll just tell them. Here's the thing. I'll just tell them that 15th one was good, and they should keep
There you
making
go.
that one.
Hey, that
Keep
one
making
was
that one.
really
That's the
good.
one.
Oh, thanks, man.
We'll keep with the lager. There you go. You can open that one.
Oh, what do you think of the others? But that one was really good.
No, but that one was good. Yeah. I like to use Zootopia rules. If you ever seen the Disney animation Zootopia, there's a scene where she asks, she's getting in front of people and was going to talk, and she asks, I don't know how to approach this, I don't know how to act. And they said, well, take their question, think about it, then ask another question and answer that one. So you say, how was that 15th beer? Was there a good beer? Yes, there was a good beer. Like that, and they're confused. They don't know how to respond to
Do
that.
they make good beer?
They make a good beer.
A good beer.
Do they make a good beer? Yes,
Yes,
they
they
do
do.
make a good beer. Did you like the beer? Yes, we like the beer.
The beer.
The beer.
14 of them sucked ass.
No.
No, you can't
No,
say
you
that.
can't say that. They're not going to serve you again. Graz would, though.
right.
By the way, Graz would be the one that goes right up to him and be like, 14 of these sucked ass. They're like, all right, New Yorker, get out.
I'm going to visit this. I might visit this world's worst brewery in Virginia because I go out there.
Jesus. The world's worst brewery.
It's the worst brewery that I've visited. But,
Yes.
but actually, it's to be honest, it's not even the worst that I visited.
Okay.
Because it's just the
But
one
the
that we
volume-
judge all of them by.
Oh, okay.
And by the way, so complicating this was a just oppressively hot day.
Okay.
And
I get it,
They
yeah.
had like barely any inside areas, so we sat outside on the patio.
So, yeah, that could change the way the beers sit and the temperature and
Yep.
taste and flavor and all that other stuff.
The
Don't defend them. Don't.
all right.
Don't defend the beer.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
The service was bad.
So
it was
all
just
around,
like
it
it was
was-
just all around a bad experience. So
the bathroom had a homeless person doing heroin in it. It's like everything went bad.
So yeah, it's just like that is the level by which I judge all breweries. So
Okay.
when my friend says, "Oh, I went to a bad brewery," I'm like, "How bad, was it? Was it
Blank, blank,
this
bad.
brewery bad?" Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Yep. So
Yeah, was it 110 degrees and you're in your mom's backyard?
pretty much felt like that. I mean, Virginia in July, it's not a fun place to be.
And the dog was licking the wound on her leg.
Yeah, but now, my answer to that is on a day like that.
Yeah.
Isn't it just a cold beer? Most of
best.
the time, just a cold beer passes for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, my standards are low when it's that hot, and my standards were still not met.
He's like, you know what? That toilet water looked really good right about now. Or as they say
All
now,
right,
Richmond,
Mike, I'm going to let you
Perlet.
go. I'll
Yeah,
see
man.
you around 10:15.
All right, cool.
All right, bye.
Later.
Later.
All right, so this is where Mike and Pete goes radio.com, 516-465-3990, 516-513-0515. We're here with Dave from Gun Hill and Chris from the Brewery York. Do you like to call yourself a blogger?
Someone said,
"Is it a blogger?"
I guess I am still a blogger.
I hate the word blogger.
I hate influencer.
I was just gonna say,
influencer. Yeah, someone said that I'm a beer influencer once. I'm like, don't ever call me that.
But you started as a beer blogger. Though.
I did start as a beer blogger.
Oh, so you had a website? You did reviews and stuff?
No. I never did reviews.
Good.
That was kind of the rule of my site.
Yes, I agree.
Like I don't really give a shit.
Not
what
that we're
other
reviewing
people
that
think
Richmond
about
brewery
beer.
at all.
No, exactly.
No,
but like
not at all.
I don't give a shit what other people think about beer.
Yeah.
And I don't want anyone to give a shit about what I think about beer.
That's what I was saying about the Yelp. I'll just say that I like this and I like that, and that'll be the end of it.
Yeah.
And then you're just basically your account is for a lot of people seeing the grounds, seeing the outside, the inside. Very rarely are you showing even the tap list and what's up there. You're basically showing what the experience is to walk up to these places and see the views, and I like that part of it. I like to see the countryside. I like to see where it's nestled into, or the hubbub of the inner cities and stuff like that. It's kind of cool. I like that idea.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess you would call blogger.
Well, his website was actually really great when all the breweries in New York City were opening up. Because he would put on there who was opening, when they.
Oh, so you had like current events. You stayed right on the pulse of it.
Still, I still keep the map and the calendar up to date on the site.
cool.
It's brewyorknewyork.com.
Yes.
The calendar people still tell me is a great resource for them because you can see what events are coming up in New York City.
Now, are you just collecting data from other sources and then just filtering it into yours?
Yeah, people email me stuff.
Oh, cool, they do.
I
All
add
right.
it all, yeah.
So you are getting like inside information at times and releasing it. I mean, at the same time, they are. It's not like you're getting the sneak preview, but you are.
But I'm just trying to be a
resource.
resource so people don't have to go to a million different places to find out what.
Yeah, that's
cool.
awesome. Yeah, very cool. We should have someone like that out here.
We do.
Do we?
Long Island Beer Guide.
Yeah, I saw that. Are they really up to date though?
He's for a little while there. He kind of slacked,
I
but
felt like
he
there was a bunch of openings and stuff going on. I'm like,
recently he's been like on it.
All right. So maybe he's back on the sauce. Maybe he took a
just
sober October.
Well, just the other day he was like, "Oh yeah, this one's opening this. Oh, and bad news, barrage is dead." I'm like, "Oh, thanks, bro."
You had to keep that in there, didn't you?
Fucking guy.
You're always going with it.
See, when a brewery closes, it's on my map or on the website.
Yeah,
it just ceases to exist.
You should put like a little skull and crossbones.
right
in that spot.
Either way, it would be nice to have something a little more up to date. But I'll go back and start looking at his posts again. We follow him, but it didn't seem like it was coming up in the rotation.
And it's hard for me to keep track of what's on Long Island too, because there's just so much.
Oh yeah,
especially out in Suffolk, there's just so much like on the East.
There's an event every weekend at every place, all 3 days, if not Thursday as well. Plus, there's a festival twice a month. You got to keep up with those. And that's the first time I've had Gun Hill. I was at a festival. We were at, and I got to think, it was a while back. Shit.
Was one of the Starfish?
Yeah, it definitely was.
Starfish
I don't think it was
Junction.
Nassau Coliseum, though. It might have been one of the outdoor ones. Martha Clara? You ever do the Martha Clara Festival in the summer?
That was
a fun
good one.
Yeah, maybe
where is
that's
that?
one, is it?
Out
east.
Out east, like
yeah. Jamesport.
Yes,
Jamesport.
Not the is it the hops?
No.
No, this was a while ago.
Was
6 or
now
7 years ago.
Now they do it in Heckscher.
Yeah, yeah.
But it used to be out in Martha Clara Vineyards, like in their back area.
Yeah,
it was
the
really
Intamin
good.
family.
Yes,
who sold Martha Clara too.
Yes, that was very surprising.
I know, because I passed by the sign and it's a whole different name of the wine. I'm like, the fuck?
But
What's going on?
once the Robert Entenmann passed, that was it. The kids that wanted to do it.
I don't blame them. That's a lot. So anyway, so you have the new guy in. You want to give him a shout out?
You're doing a good job, Chris.
There you go.
He is doing a good job.
So you've kind of 6 years. When's the anniversary?
And Brad, if you're still listening, you're doing a good job too.
Yeah, you
don't worry.
Everyone gets an attaboy.
I just got a text from one of the brewers.
Yeah, what did he say?
I'm not going to repeat what he
said.
Okay.
All right.
Fuck you too.
Yeah. Well, he had it would comment on something somebody's already said about the Bronx.
Oh, okay. Was it the Grillo comment?
Maybe.
Okay, all right. Fair enough. That's my fault. I was just jumping to conclusions when he was really talking about the zoo. I thought he was being a little out of line, but he was in line. And you guys you're 5 minutes from the Bronx Zoo.
It's really close.
So if anyone's planning a trip to the Bronx, or the Botanical Gardens, right? I went there for the Train Expo.
Or Arthur Avenue.
What's that? Wait.
Arthur Avenue is
Hold on.
is the real Little Italy now.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Right. I was thinking where I heard of it and I couldn't place it. I definitely saw it somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. The real the
I think the
San Gennaro is not really
not anymore. Yeah.
So yeah, we were at the Train Expo, for the winter, and I said I had my in-laws, my family. I said we're going. It's 5 minutes from here. It's really not that bad of a ride. So I say to anybody that's going to the zoo or Botanical Gardens or anything like that, make a day of it and stop in and have a few pints. And what I also want to talk about maybe a little later, but you guys also recently had a huge barrel festival.
Yes.
Which what I saw and you guys released, and it looks dope. And when I was in there, I actually asked, I forget who the bartender at the time was, what was in the barrels, and he was running through them. I'm like, oh, and he goes, yeah, we have a festival coming up in a month or so or whatever it was, and I'm just salivating, and I was actually away, so I couldn't make it, but.
I did bring one of the beers that was in the barrel.
Ooh.
Actually, it was in one of the barrels from last year, so it's a year old already.
Cool.
Ooh, Skippy.
Steve's getting a little antsy in the fancy.
Oh man, when I hear that barrel stuff.
So bringing up to present day, the structure is now you have this Chris in the brew house. He's basically the head brewer. Any assistant brewers? Any cellarmen?
We have an assistant brewer named Brad.
Yeah.
And then we have a cellarman named Oscar.
Okay. So it's the three guys that pretty much running the operation there.
Yep.
And then you guys do the business part.
Yep.
And then obviously you have front of house people, bartenders, stuff like that. Front of house manager, I would imagine.
Yep.
And so that kind of keeps the place running. And you do well, right? I mean, there's people there all the time. Every time I look in on the Instagram or go there myself, you got a good crowd building up, and you always have that barbecue going.
Yeah.
Dude, that smoker outside just sets the tone the minute you walk in.
It brings them in.
Oh, dude, it brings them in from like 3 blocks away.
Like, what? It's barbecue and beer?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And that's what I just experienced when I was up at Equilibrium. It was barbecue and beer, and it's just that complimentary smells.
They're doing it a little bit more intensely than we
are
with the barbecue.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They have several things going there besides that. But, I mean, just to have it's almost like having a food truck, but you have a resident smoker, right? That smoker sits out there most of the time?
Yeah. It's ours, so.
Oh, it is yours?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. Because I thought I saw a Gun Hill logo on it, correct? Or is it named something that made sense?
Oh, no. So there's another one. Maybe you were there. We have a local guy who's called Wicked Jerk.
That might have been it.
Was it black or was it silver?
The smoker was black.
Then it was him. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he comes by a lot. Like he's a local, meaning a regular of ours as well.
Okay.
Oh, cool. And he, in his spare time, he
just smokes meats.
Yeah, and he does a really, really good job.
Yeah, it was
really good
delicious stuff, man. It was crazy.
Can I say one thing about Gun Hill that is really, really crucial to my experience as someone who goes to a lot of breweries? They're open on Mondays.
That is. So
key.
you were open today?
Yes.
Shit. Well, that's why it was harder to get you than I thought. And that's why we started doing the show on Monday, because most breweries and brewers are not doing much on a Monday. They'll even take the day off or do a brew day during the day and then be available at night. But that's crazy. So you're open 7 days a week?
7 days a week, yeah.
Holy shit. So that requires, and you get good business enough to stay open 7 days a week.
It doesn't take much to really justify being open.
But enough that people come off of work and they'll stop by, grab some stuff to go.
It's a pretty industrial
area.
I mean, you were there, you saw it.
Yeah.
So we get people that'll stop in right when we open. They'll grab a pint and then go back to working.
Nice.
Working on other people's cars.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, whatever. What do you need to? Yeah, you don't need your wits about you for breaks.
I don't think you really need this part.
There's only so many ways you can put a headlight in. So have a beer, sure. And like I said, the area, like you said, is industrial, but it doesn't feel dangerous. I don't feel. I mean, you may feel a little bit different because you're there every time. You've probably seen a lot more than I did. But when we were there, I had my wife, my kids, my in-laws. No, it felt good.
No, I mean,
I usually get a good sense of stuff. Like I'm like, I'm just gonna stay here.
Especially from being out here, right?
Yeah. Well, I
beautiful Levittown.
I worked 9 years in wine dance, believe it or not. 9 years in wine dance. So I've seen my fair share of shit.
No, I mean it's the area is okay. I mean, it has a really, really bad historical reputation, and I think that like when we opened up, so in the baseball league that Kieran, my partner, and I we played in. The cops actually have it. The NYPD has a team in the league.
Oh, okay.
So one of the guys on the team was in the local precinct, and he was like, I wouldn't stay open too late or anything like that. So we were like we got a little nervous.
Yeah.
But in 6 years, we really haven't had any issue ever. We close at midnight or 11 o'clock
right
on the weekends, and during the week we close earlier, so we don't really allow it to get to that.
Right.
And the other thing is like if you're coming to us, as you saw, you're coming to us. You're not
There's
going.
a reason.
You're not going.
Not just walking down the block going,
Eat it.
hey, this looks like a night.
Yeah.
You might be, but you're not like you're going home or you're going.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you're not. It's not like you're going bar hopping.
Right.
And going from one place to the next.
There's nowhere else to go. You want to go to Popeyes up the block, or go back over to CVS.
Well, there's no place. There's no other place for you to go to have gotten yourself into trouble.
Correct.
Like getting a little lit up.
So you're not going to
you...
get people from a troubled
Right.
place, and you're not sending people out there. So you're not going to collect any of that. That's
Right.
good. That's good. Thought process and how that whole area works. So works for you, I guess. And with that, you have enough people coming in destination wise to support being open 7 days a week, which is very rare, like Chris said.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it doesn't take much to justify, as long as you can cover. I mean, because everyone else is there working during the day.
Anyway,
so it's
doing your brew day, cleaning up.
You're just paying the bartender to be there. So if you get a couple people that come in and drink a little bit, or take stuff to go, you're covering his salary and what else? There's the electrical costs or whatever, but
it's going to be on anyway for the most part. You still got to let the cooler run.
Exactly.
And you still got to have the brew house up and running. So what is it, a couple of lights?
Yeah, I mean,
LEDs?
I think the challenge is actually having somebody that's willing to work on a Monday.
Well,
not knowing what kind of tips they're going to get.
Correct.
Because it's very hit or miss.
And if you have someone that then balances out with a good weekend night, that you're able to put that together, you can work Monday, but I'm also going to give you a Saturday night where you'll counterbalance that.
Right.
Then it might be worth it to them, especially if they're free and they're not, also involved with a full-time job.
Right.
What time do you guys open on a Monday?
2:30.
Wow. That does bring that after work or mid-work crowd in.
Yeah.
That works. That's awesome. All right, let's take a quick break because I do not have to pee, but I got to get a couple things going here. We're going to take some phone calls when you get back. We're going to crack open some more beers and talk a little about Gun Hill's lineup that they brought tonight. This is the Word with Mike and Pete, GubsRadio.com. Again, give us a call, 516-465-3990, 516-513-0515. And we're going to be right back right after this.
Gubs Radio.
This is the Wort on Gubs Radio. This is Gubs Radio, and you're getting drunk with Mike and Pete on the Wort.
Oh, hello there. This is the Word with Mike and Pete, GubsRadio.com, live here at the beautiful Governor's Radio Comedy Club in Levittown, Long Island. Again, our phone number here, 516-465-3990, 516-513-0515. Give us a call. Talk to the boys. In-house today, of course, we got Steve Pominski. Here is my co-host subbing in for Pete, who is still caring for his young child and other two childers. We got Dave from Gun Hill, and of course Chris, Brew York on Instagram, brew_York. Also, was it brewyorknewyork.com?
That's the
there
one.
we go. So I forgot about that one. It's linked in his Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and all that shit, so you can go there and check it out. And we were talking before how you still have everything and you're trying to keep up with everything on that. So go visit that if you're looking for some good insight to New York City events and things that are happening in around the tri-borough area.
And shitty breweries in Richmond.
Yes, if you'd like to email
Chris, shitty brewery in Richmond.
With
one good beer.
It had a good beer.
By the way, for those of you who don't know, we found out the name of that brewery in the break. Shh. And
it's still open, amazingly.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, like you said, it's probably very hyper-local, and no one knows anything different at this point.
Well, I mean, now it's kind of amazing that they're still open, considering how many other breweries have opened in Richmond since then.
Do they do any distro where they're on the shelf competing with other people? Do you know?
I haven't looked too deeply into. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel
Once you had the bad taste, you're like, I'm
certainly not looking for them.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
How come I can't find this shitty brewery here in New York? God damn it. No, but I mean, just to have anybody else, probably, according to what you were saying, would have done it better. All you need to do is open within a 5 mile radius, and you would have probably
Yeah. I mean, and I've seen this happen in a lot of cities that I've visited.
Yeah.
Where I visited like years and years ago, and there was one game in town and the beer was pretty mediocre.
Yeah.
Or there were a few breweries in town, but their beer was kind of, hit or miss. And then one brewery opens there that completely changes the game for that town.
And then they all have to catch up.
And yep, exactly. Yeah. I mean, it happened. So I grew up in Rhode Island.
Okay.
And in Rhode Island there was one production brewery in Rhode Island for 13 years.
Was that
Newport
okay.
Craft Brewing.
Shit.
Now it is what it's called now is Newport Storm at the time.
Yes.
And
the blueberry was very good, by the way.
Yeah, but
like
they were making
flagship blueberry.
Yeah, but they were making beers like that, and
they do
nothing
road
else.
soda.
They do road soda.
Yes,
yeah, that's a
how
great
I know.
beer.
Yeah,
but like from
I'm actually impressed. I remembered that. I haven't been there in a very long time.
In the 13 years that they were the only game in town.
Yeah,
that was it. And they rested on their laurels, and they made serviceable beer.
Yeah.
But you could go to California and
blow them out of the water.
See what's happening there. And
well, with that said, since you've been all over the country and even outside in the Europe, right? You've been to UK and mainland, we'll
South
say.
America.
Jesus, really?
Yeah.
I don't think I remember seeing those, but I am not going back through 1,875 fucking Instagram pictures.
Those don't count, do they?
Those count.
Do they count?
The actual breweries?
1875. That 1875 count is every brewery I've been to worldwide.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right.
About 1,500, 1,600 have been in the U.S.
So out of all those that you've been to regionally, what's the best place? And I know probably it's going to be California. I guess it depends on your style, your preference on, if you like a West Coast IPA versus an East Coast IPA. They don't make too many East over there.
They all do it all.
Do they?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's even
all over now.
It's so hard to find even West Coast style IPAs at West Coast breweries.
Really?
I saw you when you posted like a week ago when you were out there. Like, oh, I'm actually drinking some clear IPA.
Yeah, like I can see through this IPA.
So the other one that I got, and I honestly, it was a little more selfish than anything else, and I apologize for it now. Now I'm thinking about it. So Heritage Hill, we're drinking the amber. And it's Anthony again. Come on, Ant. What do you want?
Come on, Graz.
What do you want? All right. So at Heritage Hill, they had their Route 20 East and Route 20 West. And so I had them both.
Yep.
And I prefer the West. I always prefer. I grew up, when I first started drinking IPAs with like Stone. Stone was like my go-to. Sierra Nevada. We had this conversation probably a couple weeks ago. Those were like my go-tos, and I still enjoy a good West Coast clear IPA with a lot of hotback, a lot of bitterness.
To this day, one of my favorites.
And it's hard to
Zombie
find.
Dust from Three Floors.
I mean, to be clear, you could have a clear IPA that doesn't have to taste like an old school West Coast IPA.
Right.
But I actually like that, though. Yeah. For me, that's what I do like. I do like that.
I get nostalgic for that flavor now.
Yes,
I
agreed.
seriously, I miss that. Like, I miss it, and when I have it, when I have something that mimics the beers that got me into West Coast IPAs like 10 years ago, I get nostalgic for it.
And that's what I had. So I had it at Heritage Hill, and I went, oh, my God. Like, I had my choice. What crowlers am I taking home? By the way, my crowlers are not sitting in my physics. I love ambers. So ambers, I had to get in, was a solid amber.
This is good.
Yeah, solid amber that they did. And then the West Coast. The West Coast, I was like, I wish I could take all of it. Give me the keg home. It was that good. This is not limo talk. This is the Wort with Mike and Pete. Who's on the phone?
Michael.
Yes.
The guy from Gun Hill's got like 33,000 followers.
Him or Gun Hill?
He's trolling
Gun Hill.
you right now.
So we need
Instagram,
to take a picture, and he needs to get us up there as soon as possible.
Okay, no, I'm sure he will.
Or what I did with the girls in the back trunk, I'm going to do to him.
Oh, no.
Here we
this
go
is not
again.
going well. Girls.
Mike, do you know the guy from Brew, New York?
Yeah, Brew, New York. Yep. It's
Yeah,
Brew
you
York.
like him. 2008, he knows everybody. We got to hook up with him a couple of wine
Yes, of course. Well, we bring him on the show because he's very knowledgeable, and we want to hear a lot about his experiences.
Okay, good.
Thanks.
The cops are coming. I got to go.
Okay,
Run. Hurry up.
Go.
Stash the bodies.
All right, he's out. He does that occasionally. He's driving, I guess, his normal clients on a Monday night somewhere to and from.
The two girls.
I don't know if it's the same two girls.
I hope not.
This could be what's the Christian Bale movie where he,
American Psycho.
American Psycho. It's gonna be very much like American Psycho, only with a fat, sweaty, bald guy. All right. So I guess what I'm saying is, if you had to choose a region, like your favorite region, and like I personally, I would probably enjoy more California or Colorado because there's just so many. But what would be your favorite area in our country, in the U.S., for beer?
Gun Hill.
No, the whole region.
The Bronx.
Because there's so many to go.
There's
visit.
so many.
How many are there in the county?
In the Bronx?
In the Bronx.
There are 3, but only 2 have tasting rooms.
Yonkers? Is that Bronx?
Nope.
No, that's
No,
Yonkers.
that's Yonkers.
Yep.
I don't know.
It's close.
I don't know anything about what Yonkers is or what. It's
part of-
upstate New York?
It's actually part of Westchester.
Westchester. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm thinking county-wise, what it would be connected to. So let's see. Bronx Brewery.
Yep.
Okay.
Them and
they have a tasting room, so it's got to be one without a tasting room
Yes.
now.
But the one that has it that doesn't have a tasting room is actually opening in Manhattan.
ABC?
No, it's called Torch and Crown.
Oh, yes. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
They've been distributing.
Yes.
Actually, Hopscotch had Torch and Crown.
Yeah. So what you're having from them now is brewed in the Bronx.
Yes.
So that's the third brewery in the
Okay.
Bronx.
And
Yep.
where they have like just a rental space that they're starting up there?
In the Bronx?
And they're going to move it to
No,
Manhattan?
so when Chelsea moved to the Bronx, Chelsea Brewing Company moved to the Bronx, then they went bankrupt. Torch and Crown bought the Chelsea space out of auction.
Got it.
Not planned. It was just sort of a
just so
capitalizing
happened
on
to be,
it. And they had always wanted to be like the brewery to open in Manhattan, so they're opening
Because there's only 3 on the island.
in Manhattan.
Technically, according to, they're recognized by the Brewers Guild.
Who?
So it's ABC Beer Co.
They don't brew in Manhattan.
I
They
know,
don't brew,
but
yeah,
that they're
yeah.
technically look at Heartland
Heartland,
Which doesn't brew.
doesn't brew. Yep.
Nope.
Yep.
And they're all closing anyway.
and Death Avenue.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
Yep. Death Avenue.
And
makes
those are
beer
the
there.
3 that
Yep.
you can find on if you're doing that. There's more, obviously.
There is technically another brewery in Manhattan.
Who's that?
But it's owned by Anheuser-Busch.
It's gone.
No,
no,
it's-
you're right. You're right. Yeah,
yep.
yeah,
Is Ginger Man Brewing by
No,
this
no,
point?
no. So Anheuser-Busch's marketing
office,
offices
Oh,
in
it's
Chelsea,
actually
they
Anheuser-Busch.
actually have a brewery there.
Really?
That is, it's a licensed brewery. It's
Okay.
got a state license. But they like bring in some of their like brewers from other breweries to come and brew
Experimental
and
and
do,
just
like,
try it.
What was the whole
yeah.
thing? They actually asked. So I'm the treasurer for the New York City Brewers Guild.
Oh, nice. Okay,
and
cool.
They at one point we had a whole debate whether we were going to allow them to join the Brewers
Really?
Guild.
And you guys said, fuck that
We said
noise.
no.
Yeah, of course. Well, you said it nicely. I would have said, no, fuck that noise. That's what I
We
would
said
have said.
there's a price for everything.
Right. And you got Annie Ann freaking money, so let's pony up. And they.
So
that's interesting. The part of the New York City Brewers Guild. So who's involved with that? Is that obviously the 5 boroughs?
It's only the 5 boroughs.
So right now, that's what I'm saying. So you have your 3 breweries on Staten Island. You have your 3 breweries
There's
in
only
Manhattan.
2 on Staten Island.
2 on Staten Island. Yep.
One closed.
Oh, which one?
Staten Island Beer Company closed.
Oh shit! All right. So now it's just Flagship and Killsborough.
Yep.
Okay. And then you got your 3 in Manhattan. You got your 2.
Well, actually, none of the ones in Manhattan are part
Are
of the Brewers
actually,
Guild.
but they. I
No,
mean,
they're
like,
not even part of the.
I'm
Brewers
saying New
Guild.
York State recognizes them, not so much part of the guild, but
So just as a count of all the breweries in
Right.
New York City. Okay. Yep,
yeah.
yep.
And then the Bronx,
3.
3. So most of the other 100 that you'd probably get to is
40.
Brooklyn and
40.
Queens.
Like,
But still, that's a lot. And so who else represents the areas? What other breweries are on the
On the
guild
board?
board? Yeah.
Well, so we're right in the middle of a transition.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
We're in between. We just had our elections.
Okay, cool.
So the current president is Basil from Finback.
Oh, okay, cool.
But the
It's a good one to have as the president.
the incoming president is Kyle from Randolph Beer.
Oh, Randolph, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
The vice president is Laura from Interborough.
Yep.
Okay.
The outgoing secretary is Mary from Fifth Hammer.
Yep.
Incoming is Jamie who works at Six Point.
Okay. Classic.
Then I am
Brooklyn,
I
yeah.
am the treasurer and still the treasurer.
Yay. Retained your position.
It's a 2-year.
Oh, okay.
But I've
yeah,
been
yeah.
the treasurer for the last 4 or 5 years.
So there's no one else that was running opposed. So
I didn't run unopposed last time. I actually had someone that I ran against, but again with background in finance.
right, it's kind of hard to.
Yeah.
And then you've been doing probably a stellar job with that. So I would assume the organization runs just like most. There's dues to be part of, and with that you have. What are the benefits to being as part of that
Well, we have monthly meetings.
Okay.
But
held at different breweries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's every month is a different brewery.
Cool.
But one of the things, I mean, when I came on board as the treasurer, we were not in a good financial position as a guild.
So what was the money being spent on? Is it about
so one of the big things
promotion, marketing?
One of the big things that we do is put on New York City Beer Week.
Yeah.
And opening bash for New York City Beer Week. And so there were a couple times where we just had overextended ourselves with that. And so we owed vendors money. And,
I see.
And we had, I guess, the year before or 2 years before that we had taken out or applied for a grant from the state.
Okay.
And in being given that grant, I mean, the way that works in the state is you get the grant, but you don't actually see the money for years.
Yeah.
And so we spent money in anticipation of getting that grant.
For what, though? Like, what would be your typical things to spend money on?
Well, I mean, I'd say one year we did opening bash in Grand Central Station.
Wow.
And
you had that rent was $25,000?
This was before I was a treasurer, but you know, just... You have to have very specific security. You had to have training to do it
and
all.
All that comes out of the
guild pays for it.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
But then
you wouldn't offset it with like ticket sales or stuff like that.
Well,
like
I mean that would be the idea, but you're
overextending.
There was a cap there as to how many people we and then we were at the time we were charging a lot less for tickets, and then a couple years ago we changed up the format of opening bash to make it more of like. More exclusive in terms of the breweries. We were bringing in breweries from outside of the state, and
putting them up.
More
hotel,
like
travel expenses.
More cool breweries.
Okay.
And so
who would that be?
I mean, you don't want to get me started.
No.
Here we go. Oh no, we do.
No.
This is a 5-hour show.
There's already somebody listening that I didn't think was listening. So you're gonna get me in trouble.
Oh boy. No, you don't have to say anything you don't want to say. But you got the idea.
But now we that we're in a much better situation. We do a lot of member benefit training classes. So
that's cool.
Like next Monday night, there's a social media
marketing
class.
That's cool.
We did forklift training for member breweries.
Brilliant. Yeah. So really, just like helping yourselves become better. Getting more, hands on board and like more, I guess, more people that can drive a fucking forklift.
Well, yeah, just anything.
But anything that can help a brewery out.
We've done some off flavor classes.
Okay.
So all stuff that, and not just for like owners or the brewers themselves,
and bringing people in.
Anyone that works for the brewery is technically eligible to
guest
go
speakers,
to
things like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
That's really cool. I would really enjoy being able to see those things outside there, especially as a brewery. You just want to soak up all the information that there is. To just be better, get better, and pump out beer that
you would think.
Yeah. Oh,
and I will say,
there's
by
a
the way,
downside to that. I would imagine.
No. I know what he's thinking.
You would think that that's what people would want.
I see.
Yeah. But
No,
it's what you want, but it may not be what the audience wants.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
So I will point out that
Because if you pump out another shitty and New England IPA, everyone's going to take it and mainline it to their veins. Not a shitty one, a good one, but
good
still.
one.
Yeah, a shitty one too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
how about
shitty
that
one
too?
too.
It doesn't matter
Yeah,
to
yeah.
them.
Yeah, that's the difference of a 4 and a 4.1 on Untapped.
So true. We were having this discussion before the show.
But
just crazy.
I will say to the New York City Brewers Guild's credit, Opening Bash has become the best run beer event in New York City every year.
Really?
And I strongly recommend to anyone who hasn't been.
I was going to say, you've been there, obviously.
Oh, yeah. I don't
miss it.
I travel like so many weekends a year. When I'm laying out my travel schedule for the year, I make sure that weekend is blocked out.
Was it typically a 1 day, two session?
One day. Last year was the first time actually that it was 2 sessions.
Wow. Okay.
It will be 2 sessions again this year.
And now it's not held at Grand Central anymore.
No, it's held at the Brooklyn Expo Center.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. So probably a little more convenient for people to get to first. Well,
it's not. It's actually not.
Now I'm thinking about it.
Really not, but
it's definitely more affordable. It's a much more accessible space too.
Okay.
More conducive to also
just big enough, and you just need a big open space and get that done. And still is.
It's a good layout for us too. We bring in food trucks, so they have a roll-up gate. The food trucks are right outside.
Good. And what time of year is it usually?
It's actually this month.
Really?
It's February 22nd.
Yeah.
Wow, coming up.
Yeah.
Something we'll promote
Lots
at
of
the
tickets still available.
Really?
Yeah.
What? February 22nd.
Saturday.
Oh no, my nephew's baptism in Worcester. Sorry.
Oh, that matters.
That seems
it almost didn't matter.
That seems like a day thing.
Well, it's not in Worcester, Massachusetts.
Right.
It's actually on that day.
Again, a day thing.
Yeah.
You leave at 4 o'clock. You're there.
I got
for
my
the after.
kids. I got the wife. I don't know. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I'll put it that way. I would love to go there. That would be definitely a destination. If not next year, there's always next year.
And the Wort shows up.
Oh, we would do a live broadcast from it. That'd be awesome. I would love to do. We do plenty of those. I've been talking since last week. We've been kind of now pulling back and doing our live shows and being more selective because when we first started out 2 years ago, we were doing anything anyone offered us. Oh, we're gonna be at a garage
like
in
the
Hoboken.
Like the cheap whores we all are.
Pretty much.
Yes.
Anything to get us going, like we all do. I mean, we all do it when we're coming up in the business.
That's why I'm here right now.
I know. No, you guys have been around for a while. You don't need that. But at this point,
So you're saying you're a cheap whore?
yeah, well, there you go.
I said like we all are.
Yes,
It's
yes,
true.
this is true.
I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be more like Pretty Woman. Now, if I can, I'll be the pretty whore on the corner, the one that gets the diamonds. But yeah, we've been very selective moving forward now on which live events we do because we've done the run-of-the-mill stuff. We've done, and no offense to Andy and Starfish Junction, they do a great job, but it's the same. It's been the same show for 10 years. It was cool 10 years ago when I was there, and it was cool the first few years that we were there to get our name out. But now, yeah, we don't need it to do all that work of setting up a tent and setting up the booth. It was fun. But now we want to go to things that you guys love. We've heard so much about some really cool small festivals, stuff that is just amazing. That's the kind of stuff. And we want to also now talk to different people because we've been talking to the same people at these festivals forever.
The one thing I think is interesting, so I just did one of Andy's festivals this past weekend in New Jersey.
Oh, yeah, did the Meadowlands. Yeah.
And one of the things that they do a really good job of is getting people that you never, ever see.
Who did they have that would... Did they
No,
get...
I'm talking about attendees, like people
to show up
and come to these events. That like when you see events in New York City, a lot of times you're seeing the same faces over and over.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And he gets people from, I would say, really all walks of life. That
No, we had Santa show up this year. I mean, literally, it looked and talked like Santa Claus. Younger kids, people that first beer fest they've been to, someone's on the 10th beer fest. You're right. They do get a lot of new faces in there to be exposed to the beer. But as we've gone over this, does that translate to these guys coming into the tap rooms? Or
no, but
it helps with the name if you see it on the shelf.
Yep.
But it doesn't help with what probably really matters, and that's bodies in the door.
Well, but the thing is, some of these events that the guild puts on.
Yeah.
For a handful of people, and this is the argument that we have internally sometimes,
yeah.
is like, who are we targeting with these events by bringing in some of these breweries from out of state and ignoring some of the good people
that are right here in our backyard
within the state? Who are we really targeting? And like, how as like maybe, and I don't mean me personally, but just in general, me as the smaller brewery in the guild. Am I going to see a benefit to this? And why am I doing this to help put on this? And this is something that we literally, every year we argue about.
Or are the brewers bringing them in because they're fanboys of the brewery and they just want to like have their idol sitting there in the same room as them, or the beer that they idolize?
No comment.
Yeah, yeah, I was about right. So the reason why we bring Dogfish in is not because Sam can come, right?
No, not allowed.
Not allowed.
That would not be. That's not cool enough.
Yeah, it's not cool enough. It's too mainstream. I agree with you, but he still draws a crowd. People come to Extreme Beer Fest to see Sam, to see even Sam Cook, to see
Jim Cook.
Yeah.
Jim Cook.
Jim Cook.
Yep.
Sam
No,
Adams, Jim Cook.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Yep.
But yeah, they come out to see those celebrities, brewers, as they say. But for us in the smaller, localized place, it would be something where I want to go to just. Like Dubtoberfest, Punktoberfest or Dubfest. They're two separate things.
Right.
So Dubco does a festival. It was
the first year.
Yeah, it was just straight up, very local people that came out that we haven't seen come out of their shell and be at a live event, like Sekatog, like Small Craft. Those guys don't come out and do those shows, and that's what we wanted to do. And then we were stuck doing something else. Or Bats and Brews, or
love Bats and Brews,
which is a great. Everyone says it's one of the best ones ever. Yep. So that's those, and so for that one, yeah, I mean that'd be something we Love to.
The one that I was almost like just because the setting is so great. It's like we do in the fall. We do a what we call it Blocktoberfest.
Not the Botanical Gardens one, right?
No. This
Okay.
is at the last I don't know how many years we've done it at the Well in Brooklyn.
Oh yeah.
But it's
the Well,
outdoor.
Yep.
It's great. I mean, it's a much smaller crowd.
Mm-hmm.
But it's only New York City breweries.
Cool.
For that because it's a fundraiser.
Right.
But this is like the New York City event. It's a. Have you?
I've been every year. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another one that I do not. Actually, last year I went to the festival and then went straight from the festival to LaGuardia to catch a plane to fly somewhere. I went to Syracuse actually.
There you go. Yeah.
that must have been a great flight.
Just caught a buzz and it's like, where we go? We're going. Everyone go to Syracuse today.
That hangover hits him right.
When you're doing some day drinking and then you get on a flight. Oh, that's got to be here. Where'd you go in Syracuse? Do you remember the breweries?
Oh gosh.
I can tell you the ones I've been to. We're gonna have some of their beer in a few.
So I went to Buried Acorn.
Couldn't go; they were closed.
They were pretty fantastic. Actually,
Yeah.
they were probably the highlight of that trip.
Shit, and I saw that too, and I was thinking I wanted to go to one that I saw more name recognition of, but then I ended up going to the non-name recognition one, like IBU. Didn't even know they existed until I pulled up, just a quick map and went, "What the fuck is this?" It's a shed in the back of a tire place.
Yep.
And they're teaching. It's a teaching center for beer brewing, and it's kind of like a collective.
And it's right by an airport, which is
It
right
is
by the
close.
airport,
Yeah,
which
it's
is convenient.
Yeah.
There's actually like 3 breweries right by the airport.
Yeah, so I went to a Willow Rock,
Yep.
which is another one. They opened. Yeah, that's Willow Rock right there. They opened the door for me. They weren't open, but I saw one of the guys roaming around, and I was like, "You guys open?" They're like, "No." I'm like, he goes, "Well, wait. What do you want to do?" I said, "Well, I'm just gonna take some stuff to go if you're not open." He goes, "No, come on in." He walked me in. Rocky walked me around, showed me a little bit. Very cool guys. And what was the other one that was right there? Oh, Onco, ONCO.
Yep.
Fermenters. That's weird because it's a end of a factory strip, and then when you go just past their door, it's just a huge open field with the mountains in the background. Very
cool.
nice little porch that wraps around. So cool stuff there.
I have to say that description, maybe less the mountains part, but like just being in a big factory or office park or industrial park describes about 90% of the breweries I go to.
Yeah.
I spent more time. I spent more time on Saturday afternoons in
industrial
parks than probably anyone I know.
I mean, it's such a typical.
Except the ones who have breweries there.
Well,
I'm not going to say anything, but
no, you're exactly right.
What was the name of the restaurant the other side? Mario's?
What?
By you.
White Castle?
White Castle, yes. The restaurant. Is there Mike and Pete? In fact, this is Pete. What's going on, buddy?
What's up, guys? How's
What's
it going?
on?
What's going on, Bubba?
So tell us a little about your last few days experience. How's it going for you?
I don't know. Cumulative 12 hours sleep, probably.
Oh, okay.
That sounds about right.
Stop your crying.
Stop, Steve.
You did this to her.
I was gonna say this is the bed you made. Now sleep in it.
I was listening a couple minutes ago. By the way, that Santa guy at
creepy, right?
Oh God, he freaked me out.
I mean, it was cool to have him on. We got him on video, and then those drunk girls came through, and it was just a weird mix of people. But at the same time,
I was just getting ready. It was like a Me Too moment, just waiting to happen.
This was at Christmas time, right?
It was.
Okay, I was just making sure.
I
was going to say, because if it was a guy dressed as Santa and like
last week.
Yeah.
It was actually SantaCon weekend.
Yes, exactly. It was what was it, first week in November? So it was getting there.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't.
That is a little.
Halloween was pretty much a couple days after Halloween. You're right. I think it was like the 4th and the 5th of November. So how you holding up over there, buddy?
I'm holding up, man. I just cracked open a treehouse.
Ah, okay.
Name dropping,
fanboy
you
son
are.
of a
Yeah,
bitch.
exactly.
Which one you drinking tonight?
We're upstate somewhere, I think. Yeah.
Which one you
What was
drinking?
in the fridge? Tango, actually.
Oh yeah,
I don't think I've had that one.
that's
Tango?
I
I'll
had the
save you
Tango
one.
pretty
Good.
recently.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it.
Is it a double? Is it DDH? Is it a NEPA? What is it?
God.
So
Great question.
it's a light
You read the
lager.
fucking label here. Now.
There's no way it's a lager. There's no way it's a lager. Yeah, is it a lager?
It's not a lager.
Of course not. Of course it's a fucking IPA.
It's an American IPA brewed with copious dose of oats.
Okay.
Well, really, that's surprising.
I know. It's
Yeah.
delicious.
Is that how they get it up to 8.5?
No.
No.
How's it going, guys?
It's going, man. So in studio, as you probably either listened or heard, Steve has taken over your seat. He's doing a bang-up job tonight. Help me out.
A pretty boy today.
He looks a lot better than I do.
See?
Yeah,
I told you. See?
He recognized. I think he's listened to the whole show. That's why. And of course, we have Dave from Gun Hill. He's here.
How's it going?
Good. How about yourself? Congratulations.
Thank you.
And then, of course, we got Chris from Brew York.
How's it going?
Did I hear 15 or 1,600 breweries in the
No,
in the country?
go ahead, say it.
1875.
Jesus Christ.
And that was a month ago.
No, 1875 was yesterday at 10:05 a.m. because there was one brewery that was open at 10 a.m. in Knoxville, Tennessee on Sunday for brunch, and I'm like, that's where I'm getting brunch. I had a noontime flight. I went straight from there to the airport.
A nooner. You had a nooner. Nice.
Jesus. So, I mean, I got some bigger questions for you about how you finance all these trips, and this guy's just knocking off banks.
There's actually he's very smart about how he does it.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it work related?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of it's work related, and then I'll just
don't give all the
miles
secrets away.
Well, the miles I accumulate from work travel, I end up.
Fair enough. Yeah. So some of the trips you're taking are due to work.
Yeah.
And then some of the trips you're benefiting from the miles.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We do the same thing. My wife travels as well. She's actually in Chicago tonight, so she same thing gets the miles, and we get free. Hotel rooms or flights or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So it definitely helps out.
And it helps that the place I travel to most for work is Denver.
Ooh,
look at you!
Have you hit all of them yet?
I can't keep up. I mean, I've
faster than you can get out there.
I mean, I've probably been to. I know I've been to over 150 breweries in Colorado, but I mean, there's still probably and there's still probably like 50 in the Denver area alone. I still haven't been to yet. So
shit.
Have you been to Purpose?
No, I haven't yet. That's one I haven't gotten to.
So when you guys were at GABF, you were talking about that one when we were doing the wrap-up show.
That was in Fort Collins.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they have maybe 5 taps, but everything they do is barrel aged, and it was
just whiskey. You're drinking beer whiskey.
It was it was the original brewer from New Belgium.
Huh.
And
yes, that was the
he
story
actually
behind it, yeah.
He actually has a book about barrel aging and stuff out, and we were just hanging out, it was a bunch of brewers, and he just came over. He's like, "Hey guys, how you doing?" And he just started talking about the beers, and I was like, "This is awesome," because the beers were so unbelievable. They're so complex.
That place has been on my list for a while because I've heard
cool little place, and all the furniture they made, like they have a farm.
Barrels or
they have a farm and they cut down trees and they plane them and it's just like, wait, you made all the furniture, like the tables, the chairs. Yeah.
It's like really, complex stuff. It's not just like a Adirondack.
Yes.
Adirondack chair kit from IKEA. There we go. I had a lot to say there, and I was trying to put it all together in one word. It didn't work.
God,
and you plugged IKEA, too.
Yeah, I know.
How many IKEA furnished brewery tap rooms have I been to? That's something I should have kept count of over the years because there have been a lot.
How many breweries have Pinterest, all over them, and you're like, we want this look and that look and other brewery looks, and basically just trolling Instagram for the look to finalize that last little bit of the wall.
Oh yeah, I've definitely been to some purpose-built brewery tap rooms for Instagram.
Really?
Like you walk in and you're like, this was designed so people would take pictures of it. There's one in Winnipeg, in Manitoba, in Canada, that was. It looked like it was strictly designed so people would take pictures of it. It's like
I feel that about Treehouse. Treehouse is kind of they built that outside thing because speaking of Treehouse, Pete. Because they had that outside, gazebo-looking thing is just all wood, and it looks great on camera.
Every time I take a picture of Treehouse when I'm there and post it on Instagram, instantly gets more likes than the previous 10 combined.
Lose their fucking minds.
Yeah. Yep.
So where did are these the ones that your brother brought back, Pete?
Yeah, he was up there again last weekend.
Jesus Christ!
How long did he stand in line for them?
This I was shocked. So the last he was up there in between Christmas break, and there was like an hour and a half line to get in, and there's not a special. It's just a regular fucking Friday.
Mm-hmm.
This time he said he just walked right in. It was wasn't a line.
Does that make the beer taste worse?
Yes.
I mean,
yes, it must.
If you didn't suffer for it, I guess
if you didn't
I probably don't
suffer
have
for
to savor it really.
So I went right before Christmas and waited in line for an hour and a half.
Jeez.
And then I went 2 weeks after Christmas on a Wednesday.
5 minutes.
I mean, no, there was no line. There was literally, I filled out my card, went right to the front, walked right to someone, got the cans, then walked over, and they were doing drafts, so I went.
You still had a 2 draft minimum
of course.
limit? Fucking, that's what I hate about it.
They don't want that is just insane. We made this beer, and it's like $8 a can, but I'm sorry, I'm only going to sell you one of them.
Yeah. I took I will never hear the end of this. I took my little sister with me.
Really?
To
okay, how old is your little sister?
Was she drinking age?
Yeah.
Oh, she's like 33.
Jeez.
All right.
But
scaring us. Like I took a 9-year-old.
Your little 9-year-old.
But
is this your dad? No, it's my brother. What?
But I'll never hear the end of it, but it was so I could get 2 of a can of something because there was a limit of 1 can for some of the stuff.
But you brought her to get your second one.
To get the second one.
People do that. I watch people online. Is a husband and a wife, and you think it's like one per family. No, they're getting their double share of whatever they want. Cheaters, dirty cheaters.
Yeah, well,
they're still walking out with $500 worth of beer on a fucking cart.
Right. I mean, I you know what I do though? The reason I get it is purely to share.
Okay.
I don't even trade for it.
Right.
I'm just like,
here, take this.
Here, I went to Treehouse last week. Try this. Here, have this. Like it's I take it on trips with me too. So
if you go out to California and you got people with monkish, you could actually trade it.
Well, you probably could.
Great Ocean.
I mean,
hype ones out there.
What's amazing to?
I'm just gonna toot his horn here. I think, and from what I know about Chris and all my interactions with him, he's not really into that whole you mentioned going to monkish. Or like that. He'd be more interested in going to
the one next door that no one's at. To see
Smog
what it's
City.
Like. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's true. Yeah. Shit, that's right. It's good that you mentioned that one.
Yeah. But no,
What are you guys drinking right now?
Oh,
well, that's a good question. I know you just set it up.
Smiles by Gun Hill.
Yes, so we opened the brown.
Ale.
I want to go back and talk about the light lager too in a minute, but this is right up your alley, sir.
It's not like an in your face intense adjunct beer. I actually just had it on draft at the brewery last week, and I thought that because this is from the fall, so we saved a little bit.
Oh,
cool.
And it's definitely you can get more. I get more of the s'mores characteristic on draft now than I did when it first came out.
Why would that be? What do you think? It's
just mellowed out a little bit.
Yeah, in a keg as opposed to can, maybe.
Yeah, I mean
settling things like that over time, or
to me, I get more of the chocolate than I do anything else in this. I don't really get any of the. I mean, you're not going to really get marshmallow flavor unless you're using artificial.
Yeah, of syrup. You have a solution for that?
Yeah.
Ooh.
So when we did our s'mores beer, we get the same thing with first of all, marshmallows have gelatin in them, so you can't use them. It fucks the beer right
toast
up.
them.
But to a point, you can only put so much in. We found fluff. Fluff is actually vanilla, and it's corn sugar, so there's no gelatin in it. So we took that, put it in a pot on flame, and just kept mixing it and caramelized that because the sugars would caramelize. The whole brew house stunk like marshmallows, like burnt marshmallows.
Doesn't sound like a bad thing.
Took it, poured it into the fermenter, and it just where the gelatin. We actually tried it with marshmallows. And the marshmallows actually, it was just a gelatin ball.
It would congeal.
The nastiest thing ever. But the fluff was perfect. We're like, holy shit. Because we asked so many of our friends that were, mixologist. How do you infuse marshmallow into a drink without actually using marshmallows? And one of them was burnt toast with vanilla. Burnt toast. If you scrape the burnt part, it gives you that almost caramelized burnt flavor that we all know and love when we have a s'mores. And the vanilla is part of it. And so we took fluff and worked perfectly.
Nice.
Worked perfectly. So you could use that if you want.
That's yours now.
The selling a brown ale though in a wider market is a little.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
I'm so happy you got I love brown ales. Freaking.
I love browns and ambers, porters and stouts. It's some of my favorite.
I have a rule.
I'm just turning you down a little bit, Pete, as the girls.
Because as we hear all the kids screaming,
the girls are circling you.
So I have a rule when I visit.
Is that the
screaming baby?
Is that the dog? Oh, it's the baby. All right. Well,
That's the baby. Yeah.
All right.
Always
order
order the
pterodactyl. I apologize.
No, it's right. No, just stay on.
Always order the brown. That's my rule at brewery, and it's
guys,
because.
Have a good night.
Oh, you're leaving?
Yeah.
All right, you got to do parental duties. All right, buddy.
Getting real.
Thanks for calling in.
I'll talk to you guys
Shit's getting real.
See you later.
Later, brother.
Bye, Pete.
Is the word with Mike at PeteGubsRadio.com, 516-465-3990, 516-513-0515. So go ahead. I'm sorry, you were saying always order the brown.
Always order the brown because it's a style that we completely forget about.
Yep.
And I've found when I have it fresh at the brewery, I end up enjoying it more than half the other beers on tap.
Okay.
Just because it's a style that's underappreciated and it's relatively easy to execute because it's a very straightforward thing versus all the other crazy beer styles we're getting into now, it's like, and all the adjuncts we're adding and stuff. So a good adjunct-free brown ale is, I truly appreciate it. And I've had so many of them just by living by that rule. Just this weekend, even.
And this doesn't jump out as crazy adjunct like you were saying.
No.
It's just a light brown that has that chocolate back and a little bit of the vanilla and the graham cracker kind of maltiness that kind of rounds it out. We'll say. I'm not a good reviewer. I don't have description.
So put Untapped away. I see you.
No. No. It's Sophia. I was just making sure she was still calling in. I was just giving her a quick DM, so we'll see if she recognizes it again. But yeah, I think, like you said, I usually do go right to the brown or the amber or the Irish red or something to see. It kind of does give you a quick idea of how that brewery is going to attack the rest of it.
Well,
right?
It does because
Indication,
I feel like sometimes it can be a throwaway beer, and if they don't treat it like a throwaway beer, then it makes me feel like they probably care about their other beers more.
They're really looking at everything carefully.
So it's that, and it's also
the Pilsner.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. So it's really just lagers in general. If there's any lager on tap, it's probably one of the first things I'm going for.
Okay.
Because if they can do something perfectly clean and there's nothing to hide behind there, then you get a pretty good idea of what
the rest
else they're
is gonna
capable
come.
of.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I found is that I'm actually really happy to report that most of the Pilsners I've had have been very well executed because most brewers know their limits and they know if they can't make one, like if they can't make one well, they shouldn't make one because they're never going to compete.
You can't hide.
Yeah.
You can't hide with a Pils.
Yep.
You just can't.
Yep.
Either it's well made or it's garbage.
Yeah. Well, and I mean also, but that's not to say that breweries that don't make them are incapable of making good beer.
Oh no.
Considering there's so many other implications of lagering in terms of tying up tank space and stuff like that.
And obviously they're doing it if they're only working with a one barrel system or something.
Yep.
It's going to be nearly impossible to do that and still have other stuff on tap.
Exactly.
Like one beer. Come on in. We got a lager. It took us 6
Took
weeks.
us a while, but it's fucking good.
Have you heard of Bierstadt Lagerhaus?
Oh,
what is that?
Yeah. It's in. Have you been?
I have not. I've heard a lot of good things though.
It is. So they only make lagers.
Yep.
It's
in
Denver.
Denver.
Kind of like Jack's Abbey.
It's
a lager only.
Oh no,
place.
wait. We did go.
It's the
what was it called again?
The slow pour
Yes.
Pils.
Yes.
What was the name of it again?
Bierstadt Lagerhaus.
Bierstadt. Okay.
Yes,
All right.
we did.
So
go.
it's lager only.
That was
Lager
on
only,
on
right.
the
But
trail that we did, and
it's
Did they do a black lager?
they
Schwartz
when I was there they always do a Helles.
Okay.
Yes. And they have a slow pour pills, so it
Okay.
actually takes I think 5 minutes to
yeah.
get your.
Are they
to get,
doing the old school pump?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and it's worth it.
Yeah.
And then they had
head is so
they had-
creamy on
I
those,
think
right?
they
It's just-
do. They had a Martzen.
Okay.
yes,
Because it was.
didn't they? I think they also had an alt beer.
Ooh.
And they may have had an alt beer when we were out there for GABF.
I like
It was
those
either-
too.
It was either an alt or a Doppelbock.
Okay. And like those too. It's like right up my alley. That's.
But they don't. Nothing else.
Sometimes like your straight lager, I feel like I want a little more of it. I like more roasted malt. I like darker flavors. I like a little chocolate, hint here and there on my lagers.
There's a time and place for everything.
That's true. Oktoberfest is probably where I'll be drinking the shit ton of those. But then in the light lager in the summer, it's going to be freaking phenomenal.
Yeah.
That thing that's your
Actually,
lawnmower beer.
speaking of, breweries that have done German style like lagers and followed Van Haskell.
Yeah.
Stouts.
Yeah.
Today
Yeah.
announced
Oh,
they're
yeah.
closing.
Yeah.
Carol Stout.
Yeah, we saw it when we.
You were
pulled up.
talking to me
Yeah,
before they
we were-
came today.
She's retiring.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
Well, that was a brewery that was on my to-do list too. So now I have to.
You have to get there
I
now.
have to get there now.
Because
Would she announce a closing date?
They're starting to shut down. Some of the brewery.
Pull back little by little as it goes.
And
through.
I think it's going
April or
yes,
May?
yeah. I think she
Shit.
said around 3 months, and then.
And that's an easy drive though too. You don't
Yeah,
have to.
yeah, exactly. I don't have to take a
fly to
weekend
that
to
one.
do that. Yeah, exactly.
that's not bad.
Another all lager brewery that I want to bring up is East Rock Brewing Company.
East Rock, yeah.
in New Haven.
I almost stopped there on my way back down from Boston. I was fucking pissed. I was like, God, they weren't open yet. And I don't like showing up every time and be like, I'm the guy that shows up to breweries early and knocks on the doors.
With your face on the window.
Sounds like you are though.
This past weekend I was, but I have not been that yet. So I'm gonna break that trend after this weekend, just because I was in a limited time window. But yeah, East Rock, I've heard great things.
Their Pilsner was one of the best beers I've had so far this year. I mean, it's very early, but it's really
and he did dry
fantastic.
January, so.
Right.
So anything he was drinking was the best beer.
Yeah.
But no, really, it was.
Coming in breast milk. He's like, this is the best beer ever.
Beautiful space, and I
Shotgunny.
believe the brewer there
Pete's
came
going
from Jack
right.
Sabby's.
I know. That's why I said it.
Jack Sabby's.
Yeah,
I mean,
and that's another place that just.
I had their IPL actually, and I was expecting it to be more lager than IPA, and it wasn't. It was a very nice hoppy lager, not as good as yours, by the way, but still good nonetheless. It really was. But it was cheap though. That's the thing. Like you got a 16-ounce 4-pack for like $10 or $11.
I don't.
It's crazy.
So I actually went to high school with one of the owners.
Yeah.
And I saw him in GABF. And
How's he making any money on that?
I said, I have to know, how do you actually make any money?
Yeah.
And
It's got to be that awesome tasting room.
It is. It's and the Springdale now across the street or whatever it is. They basically they own both,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So they got two very popular tasting rooms in an area where people are, again, another destination where they're coming to the town for their lagers and their whatever else they feel like making at a Springdale. That's got to be it. They offset the cost with that. I don't see any other way.
How are they doing it though? For Springdale's only 2 years old.
That's true. How'd they do it before then? I don't know. Did he give you any secrets, any hints? He's like, no, fuck you. Okay, I'm gonna count the money in the back. Damn it, that sucks. I mean, I was at Castle Island. So Castle Island up in it's Newport, whatever the hell it is, right outside of Canton by Trillium.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yep.
It's new something. So they do a 16-ounce 6-pack of their lager for $12. 16-ounce 6-pack
At the brewery.
At the brewery, yeah. That's and I went, what? And he's like, yeah, no, they're $12. Now I think it was 4.5, so I guess ingredient cost, but still it's volume. You're getting.
Yeah, you still have to brew it. You still have to pay
right,
your
right. Everything.
employees.
It's
can
a lot
the
of
beer. You pay for the canning costs.
Yep. I don't know how they do it, but again, they don't distribute either, so everything comes.
Castle Island?
Not locally. No, I don't see them anywhere.
You're saying not here? They do in Massachusetts.
Do they?
Yeah.
Beyond? Because I didn't need to go to the brewery then? Fuck. I could have went. No, I would have gone anyway. But no, I didn't think they did. My buddy lives in Canton. So.
Norwood, by the way. That's
Norwood, not Newark or whatever the fuck I said. Newark, Massachusetts.
Norwood.
Well, the way that they talk up there.
That's true, yeah.
Norwood.
Yeah, Norwood.
You were trying to get the accent.
I was trying
to get the accent.
Did you get it on the Super Bowl commercial last night with Chris Evans and
yes.
John
Packy
Cat? Freaking what's her nuts? She was
Rachel Dratch.
I just can't believe they avoided the most logical, like the most obvious joke in that commercial.
Which was?
Well, they didn't ask if he parked his car in Harvard Yard.
Harvard, yeah. Well, were they in Harvard Yard? I don't know.
People
would have called them out on that.
It just blew my head that the goddamn car parked itself. What the fuck is that? What the hell is that?
I don't know if that can work in every
one
instance.
fail.
Yeah.
And it just go.
It kill all three actors.
Crush them into the building.
It just chops them all in half. There goes the Fantastic Four movie coming up. There goes any SNL reunions, and there goes Captain America in the future. So they're all done.
Man.
That's one of those things. I don't know how they do that technology, and I don't trust it worth one goddamn bin. Because the minute it doesn't work, people are going to sue people, and that's the end of that technology.
If they can.
Well, if they're not dead already, ran over by the cars chasing them down the street. Park the car.
All you need is that one day that Jimmy wasn't happy and he didn't solder that one.
Right. Or anything.
That's it, man.
Or anything. Like someone can hack the computer inside because it's a wireless device, and there's got to be an entryway. So it's got to have some sort of way of getting in. So I don't know. That's crazy. I don't know. Anyway, so beer. So yes. Let's talk a little bit. Go back to the light lager really quick.
Which was
delicious,
awesome.
Which I almost opened the second one.
Would it surprise you to tell you that my distributor both can't and refuses to sell it?
What?
Oh no, I could believe that.
Yeah.
Why? Because it's a lager.
Well, yes, and also because it's a light lager.
Light lager.
And also because, God forbid, it actually competed with somebody
Bud
else
Light
in their
Miller Lite.
someone else in their own portfolio.
Oh.
From out of state,
let's see.
who we may have talked about already in the last couple of minutes.
I know exactly who it is.
Oh, we're talking about Jack's Abbey?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Lager, they have a light lager?
Well, they're house lager, but I mean, here's the other thing.
I was gonna say, is it marketed as a light lager, but no,
it's not. But here's the other thing too, is that like we said, you talk about their price points.
Yeah.
I can't match that price point.
Absolutely not.
Well, and that's what threw me off. I thought there was something wrong, or the dates on the bottom of the can were like 2017. I'm like, how is this possible? And no, it was within a month or two of when I was buying it, and it was there.
We brewed that partially because we were like, okay, we're looking at the whole health consciousness that people are seeing now, and so, and then also when there's no reason to lie about it. When we first started the brewery, my partner and I, we used to hang out after baseball games and stuff, and we were drinking Coors Light all the time.
Right.
So my partner used to be huge. We used to joke about it. So we were like, oh, now this is coming back. We have a Pilsner, but like let's just toy around. Let's see how it works. We did it at the end of the summer, and we were like, oh, this is right up our alley. Like this is what we want to drink right now. And so we kind of got to the point where the beer was just sitting with our distributor. I brought it to a football game in the fall that a tailgate I was going to,
and it killed.
Yeah,
fucking killed.
No, not only that, I brought it. And I had a couple of bar managers, bar owners there, and one guy was like, "How much of this do you have left at your distributor?"
Yeah,
and I was like, "I don't know, 16 kegs." He goes, "They're all for me." He's got a place right by Grand Central.
Wow.
Oh, he'll tear through it.
Tears through it.
Yep.
Wow. And then we stopped selling the cans and we put it in the cooler, and we have Dave's and Kieran's.
Yeah.
So we have like our own stash. So like so we had to start taking the cases out because people were drinking it.
I'm surprised you found a good way of throwing something out there that was probably not universally acceptable by the craft
I mean, the other problem is
scene.
The other problem is too is here in New York. So Night Shift has their light log or Night Light.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And again, another one. I don't know how they're doing it. Like I know what they're selling it for. And not only that, if they're like incentivizing bars where, if you buy in bulk, you're getting a little bit off of each keg. And I don't know how, but we can't compete with that price.
It's got to be sheer volume. That's the only way they could do it like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
the volume you have to do to
start seeing that saving. Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Their they were brewing some of their beer night shift was in Rhode Island at the place where Narragansett's been brewing, the Guild.
Oh, I didn't know they were
they've got like 100 and 300 barrel fermenters in there, so there could be some
but like you said, you still got to pay for the can, you still got to pay for the packaging, the shipping to get it out to distribution. I don't know. They got to have some sort of deal. Someone blew somebody along the way to get that happening.
Or you just say, I don't need.
So that's what I should have done.
I'm not. Jesus
Christ, it might be. Well, you missed your mark.
Or you just say, I'm not going to make any money off of it, and I'm just going to get it in there.
Like
now
chalk it up to promotion,
and you're going to buy something else because now people are seeing my brand. But
got it. Okay.
Not all of us can do that.
Or strike the deal where I'll give you this for this time, and then when the next one rolls around, because I know this is going to hit.
Well, the problem is also like if you're with a distributor, you can't really play that game because
it's a set price.
It's a set price, or whatever the discount you're offering has to be offered to every single account.
Yes.
Fuck.
Whereas if you're self-distributing, I guess there's
you
other
can make a
stuff
deal
you
with
can
everybody,
do,
and
but,
no one.
But you still have to do the New York State.
Yeah.
Price posting.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also, there is definitely laws that protect.
Yeah, they New York State was kind of. Because it was happening. Hey, I'm going to give. Hey, how come they got this at this? I heard about because people talk.
Yeah, of course.
And so.
And if you don't think they aren't,
yeah,
you're crazy. They
New York
definitely
State
are.
put it out there, so every brewery, whatever you're selling,
right,
it has to be a price point.
Okay.
So any contract or any account can go on and say, okay, that is the price.
Right.
All right, I'm not getting fucked. Basically.
Right. And you can look it up. It's almost like what we do for bidding system in New York State, too. As a teacher, we bid out. So you have all those contracts up there, and you can award the bid or not award the bid, in a sense. It's there, and it's regulated, and no one can kind of fuck with it, I guess. So to do something like the light lager, that's another one.
Another one.
I know, it's tough, man. I'm not drunk either. I probably should get drunk.
That
I'll
you
speak
should
more
be,
eloquently.
Yes.
What would it take to kind of? Are you going to reproduce that? Are you going to do it again because
we're
of?
Still debating whether we're going to or not. I mean, I think.
Are we out of the brown? Is brown out?
Oh yeah, I drank that.
Boy, I drank that. Oh yeah, all right. Let me grab another one.
Sorry.
Which one was the barrel one? Dave?
It's the 12-ounce can.
12-ounce can. Uh-oh.
So it's actually it's a barley wine. That's also aged on cherry.
Oh. Nice. Yeah. All right, let's try this guy here, Steve. You can do the honors. Tell us a little bit about this. So you had your barrel festival.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago.
I think it was 3 now.
3 now. Wow. Shit goes fast. Damn it. Tell us a little about how that came about. Is it the first annual? Has it been done before?
First time. We're always talking about ways. And by the way, this is a year old. I haven't had it. It's been sitting in my fridge, and I'm always looking for someone
we got
to
some
share.
special stuff.
Smells. Aromas.
So we were always looking at ways to get people in the brewery, and things that are not being done or being done somewhere else. And I just we were talking about it, and I said, no one here. I had the idea that I had said for opening bash, I was like, you know what? Maybe why don't we make it so that every brewery, it's as a requirement, there's one specific style of beer that everyone has to bring, and then you get to pick another one. And then I got shot down very quickly saying that wasn't practical. So that kind of gave me the idea, well, no one here's doing a barrel-aged festival in New York.
No.
So I was like, you know what?
Because not as many people have enough barrels to participate. Who would have the most barrels in and around the boroughs as part of the guild? Do you hear things about who's got more barrels than other people, or?
Well, I would imagine Brooklyn Brewery has the most.
Well, yeah, but what
barrels?
Like barrel aged stuff?
Right. I mean, in terms of volume.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know Finback has a lot of barrels.
Yeah, I was gonna say Finback's tasting room is lined with barrels, so
yeah.
Almost can't miss them.
As is my local KCBC.
Yeah, true. They have a bunch. Yeah.
I think Finback's got more.
Finback's definitely got more. Yeah. No, I'm just saying, they put them front and they're just using tasting room space to store their barrels.
Oh, right. Yeah, they literally did.
Yeah.
Did you send out the invites based upon people having to have a barrel?
So for this,
yeah,
this was very specific. This was both you bring 2 beers.
Okay.
Or you could bring 1 if you wanted to, but it had to be barrel aged.
Okay.
It didn't specify what style, but it just had to be barrel aged.
Okay.
We tried to make sure that we had New York, a fair representation from New York City.
Okay.
Whether it was people that we had.
Citing back to what we talked about before, that you can invite outside people, but you also want to.
Yeah, well, I mean,
highlight
it was
what's
important
here.
to have some of our friends there, to have people that we had collaborated with in the past.
Oh, cool, yeah.
Definitely some, I have to make nice with people that I have to work with on a regular basis on things.
That's a nice way of putting it.
I just like to smirk as he says it.
I knew he was going somewhere. You were really tap dancing that one well. I was like, that's pretty good. So.
But then there was also
Landmine.
there were also. Like the Dubco guys are good friends of ours, so I wanted
They
to
got good barrels.
always make
they
sure
do good
that
stuff.
they get invited to stuff.
Wow, that is fucking phenomenal, by the way.
It really is.
Oh my god.
Another one that are
deadly,
fantastic if you're listening.
Yes.
Distributor does not want to.
What? Well, it is a tough sell, barley wine. Maybe if you didn't call that, maybe you called it
not
not
at the price point we
hazy,
sell it at.
Hazy barley wine.
It's a hazy barley, but the barley.
But we wanted to have
11%. You gotta. I mean,
New England
and the
style
time
barley
and
wine.
the oh my god.
Yeah.
And would they be sold in 4-packs? I would assume at that point then too.
Oh yeah, but we also have it on draft.
Oh, so slim of that would be up there, huh?
No, we're.
Oh really?
We price it to move.
All right.
Price to move.
If it's priced to move, it's delicious. That would move. 11.5. Something I would sip on like late night, like a gentleman.
Yeah, it's like a little a cordial.
Yes.
I appreciate it in a 12-ounce can too.
Yeah. This is actually the only beer that we do in a 12-ounce.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And to be perfectly honest, it probably should be an 8-ounce can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, 8-ounce cans are the coolest things.
Yeah.
We were using 8-ounce cans to, same thing, real high ABV. We were selling them to people out of the tasting room, and
just
14%, you have that one glass, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not 16 ounces and you're like trying to get through it. And
I couldn't get through a 16-ounce 11, 12, 14%. Or the way. They're crazy. I mean,
that's why when you see a
shotgun
750 mil it's like, man, you got to drink that with people.
I have a few of those sitting at home that I'm like,
saving for a special occasion, and that special occasion is so hard to find.
Yes. You want to hear something funny? I still have surge protector.
Oh wow!
Lord.
From Sandy, I still have my bottle. I'm not going to get rid of it because I live on the South Shore of Long Island, and it was a fucking worst 11 days of my life, and I bought that in honor of that memory. So I still have that sitting there. I'm sure it tastes like absolute shit.
You never know.
Really?
You never know.
Yeah. Well, I also
open it.
I have a Dogfish 120 from 4 years ago too.
That's probably
aging.
tasting really well.
Yeah, I'm hoping. Not quite a. This is
fantastic.
I want to just guzzle it, but I also don't want to fall off my chair. But it's good. It's got the tartness. It's got a lot of sweetness to it.
Yeah.
Well,
the base beer, so we age. We don't produce the barley wine without it being aged.
It really offsets such a balance. It's such.
We aged it in rum barrels.
That's what it is. Yep.
So the regular, just the plain barrel aged beer is still very sweet.
Really?
Yeah. The rum barrels, it lends itself to the sweetness of the barley wine itself.
And you said there's cherries involved here?
This was aged on cherries.
On cherries, yeah.
For about 10 months.
Wow. And the cherry definitely pops out, but not like you're having a cherry wheat from Sam Adams. It's more subtle and with the rich, dark, malty, chocolatey almost notes, and then of course the rum barrel comes in and gives it that little push and punch and a little tang actually, a little tang to it. I like that. That's part of the cherries, I guess, and mixing with the rum and how they play off each other. It's really good. That's probably Graz. We hit a lull. He's gonna want he senses it and he's gonna want that 11%.
He's gonna come in immediately, shut the lights off.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's gonna take his shirt off and just everything is gonna be a problem. Yeah. I'm wondering if I can add another camera in there. Let me see what I can do here. I'm gonna go ahead and check this out, and then I got this on, and then let's see if I can pull that in. Oh boy. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I can definitely get him on, and he won't even know it. So we'll do that in a minute.
So he's touching himself.
Yes, we're gonna spy in on him. He's not even gonna know he's on. All right, so between the brown and the barrels, so the barrel came out. What other beers were you guys serving? You have your whole tap list for the Barrel Fest.
So what we did was we took off most of our beers on tap, and we had a bunch of special stuff that we poured.
Okay.
So we kept our Pilsner on.
Okay.
We kept
just to balance out from all the barrel stuff.
Well,
sometimes
people are like,
nice
I need a refresher.
Perk up. We had 21 breweries there.
Jesus. And not to mean this demonstratively or poorly, but it's not that big. You're not dealing with Nassau Coliseum.
No, so
you got a good space, but it's good space for you.
We had brewery set up in the back where our tanks are.
Oh, you did? Okay, so you opened up that walk.
We opened the whole
okay.
thing, yeah. So the whole brewery, we took some stuff out to make room for it. We only allowed 150 people.
Okay.
Oh wow, cool.
So we
That's
made
very intimate. That's awesome.
I mean, it was, but it was also crowded.
Well, yeah. Did you remove the tables, or the tables were onto
the tables were actually what.
They're onto the floor?
No, it was what everyone was set up on, pouring from. So we pushed them all back.
Got it.
So everything in the middle was open. You had the bar there.
Because you had like those two high tops there.
Yeah, and we were serving our stuff from behind the bar.
Okay.
But what we had last year's rum barrel aged barley wine. This year's rum barrel aged barley wine.
So this is last year's that we're drinking.
Yeah, this is something separate because this is the cherry version.
Oh, okay, all right.
So we just had the straight rum barrel aged version.
Got it.
We had our Pilsner that we aged in white wine barrels.
Ooh, what you got? Chardonnay, Pinot?
Yeah, I believe it was Sauvignon Blanc. Ooh. Then we had our Void of Light that we aged in bourbon barrels, and this was a special that we just did for this event that we also aged on vanilla and coffee.
Now, Void of Light is a
export stout.
It is.
Yes.
That's what I thought. I knew it was a stout, but I'm trying to think there was something extra to it, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Yep.
All right.
We also had we did a beer in the fall called. It was a collaboration with a couple of other brands. A new brewery that actually one of our cellarmen started. Called. It's going to be opening in the Bronx actually too. It's called First Borough.
I have heard, yeah. I saw some posts about that. Very cool.
And so it was with them.
I like their logo, by the way.
The Bronx
very
Beer
artsy
Hall.
Looking guy, yeah.
And then the Uptown Beer Society, and then also a company or guy called Beer Culture, which he's...
Yes.
So we did. It was an Imperial Amber.
He's another, let's say, beer influencer.
Yes.
We'll say.
Yes.
Like Beer Wax.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like him as well. There's a bunch
before he opened a bar and became more than just
a record store and a person.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah. Well, that's what you get when you get some momentum on social media and
exactly.
people are looking into you.
Yep.
Just in case you're interested, there you go. You got a future in the bar business.
You do.
Oh, God.
You
I'm
can
not
do,
stupid enough to do that.
Go into business. When I'm getting free flights to anywhere I want, why am I going to waste that away? Spend my time traveling. Yeah, and that's interesting. So 21 breweries?
21 breweries.
Wow.
Almost everyone brought 2 beers. I think there was one brewery that only had 1 there.
Okay.
But it was, we had VIP was an extra hour, but everyone else was 3 hours. So it was 3 or 4 hours. Yeah. It was good. You know, it was
food
intimate.
trucks out front.
We had someone, so we have a small little like mini kitchen, not that we that we don't cook out of, but somebody else came in.
You can cater out of it if someone wanted to bring in stuff.
Someone brought in something and made it out of there, we were supposed to have a food truck, and they called me the morning before and said they had gotten in an accident and they weren't sure they were going to be able to come. So I was like, I'm going to have 150 people drinking extremely high alcohol beers.
And
need
no
to have
food.
We need to have food there.
Call Costco. Get them in here. Cookies for everybody.
But yeah, it was
cookies.
I know, you just get it.
I mean, it pairs well.
Well, yeah.
I just know, like in our faculty meetings, like it's the easiest thing. For $14, you get like 300 cookies. Like, oh, okay, cool.
Either that or just ordering lots and lots of pizza.
Right, yeah, which is also a very cheap meal. And that's when you go to birthday parties and ordering pizza. Like, you really fucking cheaped out on this one. Couldn't get the goddamn lasagna, some garlic knots at least. Jesus Christ. But yeah, I mean that's gotta be a tough like moment. You're like, fuck.
It was. It was kind of like, what the fuck are we gonna do?
And especially, it's not just Pilsner Fest.
Right. No. Right. Exactly. So I'm already
Light Lager Fest.
I'm already worried about whether someone's gonna have too much and we're gonna be cleaning up the bathrooms or something like that. I will tell you, I was shocked we didn't have anyone get sick.
You had gentlemen and ladies. You had upper echelon people that came in and knew what to expect.
We really did. We had glassware for everybody.
Nice. Yeah.
One person broke it. I saw them this past weekend at this event in New Jersey.
They broke that one too?
No, it was plastic this weekend.
Yeah.
But they were like, they came to me. They're like, "Oh, remember us? We were the only assholes that broke the glass." and they're like, and it wasn't because we were drunk. I'm just a klutz.
Oh yeah, it wasn't.
That happened to me at GABF.
Did you?
But you got the whole.
Yep.
Oh yeah, everybody did.
So I know. 10 years I went without breaking anything or even dropping a glass. Like they had a plastic one that would fall on the floor, and then this year dropped the glass, the actual glass, and I was just I know I just walked off like Charlie Brown,
yeah, down. And...
I mean, those you can hear that at some of these festivals when people, the whole place erupts. The whole place just gets, and you're like, oh no, now what? I'm that guy. And it's nice when you're not that guy, but it sucks when you are that guy.
It was, I'm still so embarrassed by that. So many beer festivals I've been to, never broken a glass.
And it's got to be at GABF, right?
Yeah, it's got to be the biggest one. Yeah, exactly.
All eyes are on you.
The Hoboken Backyard Fest.
Right, no, exactly.
Couldn't have been that one.
Couldn't have been that one.
God damn it, it had to be the biggest one ever.
Oh, also I had a press badge on, so that really good too.
Even better.
You're gonna write about this one, huh? People ribbing you as you walk by. Did you get another glass? I would assume you could just go back and get another glass.
No.
That's it.
You get one glass.
You get a
they mark it on
one.
your.
Yep.
They mark it on your
Really?
pass, and that's that.
Wow. So one of the things Pete and I don't think we're gonna make it this year, but that's the other one that we want to be at. We have a name, but we got to make the Strong Connection. I want to go out and do that show, do that live. That's like the top of our list, and then we can just retire. Be the last show we ever did, and then we'll go kill ourselves in the Lake Tahoe or something.
You shouldn't do the show. You should just go and hang out.
Yeah.
No, I want to.
Yeah.
I want to be there. You're right, because every time I do a show, we never get to enjoy the festival. Right. We cover the festival. We're never out just hanging, talking, drinking. We're at the table. We're running around. We're getting guests. Nah, you're right. I agree with you.
You're almost better off participating and then setting up at one of the after parties.
Right.
Or something
That's true too. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's so many of those. I know
maybe
people who
maybe a pre-party.
An after party.
At the Brewers Fest.
Yeah.
I might not make it to the after party.
Right.
With the amount of weed that's available and the amount of alcohol that's going to be, Jesus, oh my God!
Be very careful mixing the two. Not that I know from experience.
No.
Or anything, but,
he's got that big shit-eating grin like the
Yeah.
Like, no, that didn't happen to me.
When I walked in, we were talking about breweries from New York that won medals at GABF, and I'm like, well, I remember very specifically being at the award ceremony, still high from the night before, and wondering when I'm going to be able to come down from it and enjoy myself again.
When I can actually breathe at a normal pace.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh Jesus. Yeah, I know. It's one, but I just want to. I probably should go out there first as a patron, and then enjoy beyond that. Being able to cover, because for me it was just about getting guests and people to talk to that we will never get by sitting in the studio, and no matter how far they have to come. You guys are one of the furthest we've had. Montauk was pretty far, and we talked to Nap Time upstate.
Yep.
They came down.
They were at our Barrel Age Festival.
Yeah, were they?
Yeah.
Those guys are cool,
Wait,
man.
last time we had Brewer from Left Hand.
Oh, well.
Well, yeah. I was going to say, he called.
Wait, no, the furthest brewery, I'm going to say, Sig Lusher from Kentucky. He just so happened to be up here in New York with meetings about distro, and we matched that up with whoever we had at the time coming in, and he came in and he brought a whole bunch of Sig Lusher beer, which was so weird because they were looking for another podcast, as we were talking about, and they found us and they text us, and they're like, come on down to the brewery and do a podcast. We're like, we're in New York, not Kentucky. And then it was actually, you know what? I just talked to the owner, and he's going to be in New York. Cool. Will he come out to Long Island? Yeah. all right, he'll be on the show. And he was on the show with Paul from Ghost.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he was on with Paul with Ghost. It was crazy. That was a crazy night because we didn't believe he was actually real and that he was going to come. And then he shows up as a guy from Kentucky, just giving his beer. And it's like, oh, that's
Kaiser Soze.
it was definitely freaking verbal over here. Just talking. I'm like, I don't even know what's going on. So, yeah, I was able to remember that. See, my brain isn't working tonight a little bit.
Now it's going to be fun.
No, well, this barley wine's delicious. I'm going to.
The other one, too, is high alcohol that we got left.
There's another one in there, too? Oh, boy. And I have a 10% of triple IPA. I don't know if you like triples.
Is it triple dry hop, too? Because I'm only drinking.
Yeah,
it's triple or nothing.
Actually, I just pulled off the shelf the 12% from Nightmare. That one I just got. And the other one was the quadruple IPA from Nightmare, too.
Is it quadruple dry house?
Yeah. Somebody just make an octuple already and get it done with.
And just overdo it.
Just overdo it and just as you pour it out, it's just sludge.
It's a paste. It's a fine paste, like maple syrup.
And you take your chips and you dip it, and it's
so my daughter asked me
extra
tonight.
mouthfeel.
My daughter asked me
extra
tonight,
mouthfeel.
Is there anything such thing as beer candy? I said,
there is.
Is there?
And it's horrendous.
She claims she knew there was beer candy. And I'm like, there's no fucking candy that's like beer. There's other things that are in candy form, but not beer.
And I had it one day, and it was.
Does it have alcohol in it?
No.
Oh,
well, there's the beer flavored jelly beans.
Yes, I've had those from what is it? Jelly Belly. Yeah, that I have had.
So that's
one of the worst candies ever is hop candy.
Oh yes, I've had that.
Lord, I mean,
it sounds great in theory.
Pretty much every brewer has at one time put a hop in their mouth or a pellet, just because we drink too much and it's one of the most nasty. You just because the aroma is so great, you're like, oh, it's got to correlate. No, it does not.
Nope.
And this candy was just as bad as doing that.
There you go.
Oh, they're so nice.
I'm waiting for you to do that.
Yeah,
I was trying to keep it down here.
I have it actually here.
Oh, yeah, it's in there.
So I don't have to do it real, but it actually sounds deeper and richer when it's real than when it's been converted over to digital. So this is what? This is a
double IPA.
Double IPA coming in at 9.3, I think.
Yep.
You know, Graz, we're going to drink all the beer. You better get down here. He's really late.
Well, you know what?
Tonight.
Those bodies are a little heavy tonight.
Yes,
big girls. He picked up the big girls
tonight. He's got to do some extra special cutting.
So, you know, it's not quite hazy to the point where...
No, it's not milk.
You might be able to see something through it.
Orange juice. It's not orange juice.
This is...
but it's light and it's not... it doesn't hit you in the face when you smell it. It still has like the that nice, I'll say, juice feel. But at the same time, let's take a look.
Oh, I like that.
I like the bitterness. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Try and have a little combination.
It was the Motueka?
Motueka.
That one.
That's a nice combo too. Citra with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's your fruitiness, and then the Motueka is the one that really gives it that harsher bitterness, and I like that combination. You're not agree?
Well,
you can disagree. I'm trying to decipher it because I didn't brew it, so I have no idea.
I mean, I would say the Motueka is actually also more of a tropical hop as well.
It is. Okay.
Yeah, New Zealand.
Ah, okay. So it's one of those.
Yeah, I think there's actually a little bit of Euconaut in here. So
okay.
That would be a little bit.
I don't think what we're experiencing throughout, the walk through here is anything that's like super crazy. It's got that right balance in each one so far between the light lager, then the brown. You have and I love that barley wine. And now this is a nice little balance. I like not over the top juicy.
Yep.
But at the same time, then like I said, I enjoy good bitterness. So it's got to have that balance.
9.3.
9.3. Oh
yeah.
Maybe some fucking beer.
Are you calling in with star 69?
Yeah, because I know if you were to see me call for the third time, you wouldn't have picked me up.
I wouldn't have. Nope.
You know what?
You picked up the big girls tonight?
Yeah, you picked up the big girls? Extra cutting?
Yes, I picked up the girls. They've been dropped off. They've been buried. And now I'm coming to see you
All right, you better hurry up. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a quick break, Graz, just because I have to pee finally. It took me a while, but now I have to pee. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back, and then you're going to be here any minute so we can wish you happy birthday, give you a beer, and send you on your way.
That's it?
Yes, pretty much.
No, that's it.
What, you fucking four ballers? I'm going to walk in.
So these fine gentlemen have to... See, I have them on mute. That's how I do that.
Why, you knew I was going to call you up?
Nope. I like to play this game. No, seriously. How far are you out, Graz?
I'm 10 minutes out.
Good. All right, we'll see you in 10 minutes. We're going to take a break, a nice little extended one. We'll come back and say hello.
I can't wait. It's fucking riveting.
Hugs and kisses. All right, he's gone. What was that? That wasn't me. Was that you?
Me.
That was you? It was perfect timing. Jesus Christ. That was awesome. How did that work? Did you really do that?
I did.
Wow, that's awesome. All right, this is where Mike and Pete, GubsRadio.com. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back and wrap it up with the guys. They got to get back to freaking the Bronx. Give us a call in this last segment here, 516-465-3990, 516-513-0515. This is where Mike and Pete, GubsRadio.com. We'll be right back after this.
You're listening to Govs Radio, internet radio versus whatever that alien shit is. Whose idea was this anyway? Govs Radio. You're listening to Govs Radio, streaming live 24/7. Visit govsradio.com for our show schedule and upcoming studio events. Govs Radio. You're listening to The Wort on Govs Radio.
Hey, moron, it's pronounced the Wort.
What the hell is a wort?
It's pronounced the Wort.
What is it? The wort? Yeah, okay, I'll do that again. This is The Wort on Govs Radio.
It is the Wort. Not wart, not fort, not short. The Wort.
I'm sorry, I just don't know what that means. When do you guys start drinking?
Who says we haven't been drinking?
Where's mine? If I say it correctly this time, can I have a drink?
We'll think about it.
You're listening to The Wort on Govs Radio.
Hey, we're back. This is the word Mike and Pete, GubsRadio.com, live here from beautiful Governor's Comedy Club in Levittown, Long Island, the biggest and the baddest. And joining us here in studio, of course, is my co-host tonight, Steve.
Hello.
We have Dave from Gun Hill, and of course, Chris from Brew York. For all those who don't know, go onto Instagram and go to brew_York, and you will find his 1,875 breweries that he's visited. And now, the birthday boy himself is over there in the O'Toole room.
Graz.
It's Graz, that's right. And so if you guys don't know...
No, you're not on.
This is... Yeah, now he is.
Am I on?
There we are.
You're on.
First of all, you just enjoyed saying that. To my left, my co-host, Steve Pominski.
Pominski?
My name changes every time.
Yeah.
It's
He's very good at changing
Kaminsky,
Yes, Kaminsky. I like Kaminsky.
What's the proper way to say it?
Pominski.
Yeah, see, look at that.
P-O-M.
Come on, brother.
Steve Pominski.
There you go. He's following you, by the way.
Is he? Well, no.
I follow you.
I got a problem here already.
I follow you.
All right? Where's, who's the guys out in the Bronx? What's their name?
Bronx Brewery.
We're not going to tell you.
Bronx Brewery. Ask nicely and you shall receive.
First of all, Gun Hill Brewing Company.
Yes.
Tasting hours Monday through Wednesday, 2:30 to 9.
Yep.
Thursdays, 1 to 11, and Fridays, 1 to 12 a.m. midnight.
This is Promotion Master Graz.
Gun Hill Brewing, GunHillBrewing.com, 3227 Laconia Avenue in good old Bronx.
Yes.
All right, here's a couple of things what we're going to do now.
Okay,
You're going to follow me there, Gun Hill, because...
do you have the social media attached?
You have a name. You're Gun Hill.
Yes. You're not even Dave anymore.
You're not even Dave.
Yep.
All right, Dave, you got to follow me
Yeah,
because we've got to be friends.
Okay. Okay.
And I'll come visit you in the Bronx.
Okay.
And we'll like each other.
Oh, great.
All right. Okay, great.
Okay.
Should be fun.
And we'll like each other.
Yeah.
I like that.
Did you? Well, first of all, these beers are phenomenal.
Thank you.
Kudos. What is this? That
The
we're drinking
one
right
I
now?
just poured you? That's
Yes.
Heritage Hill.
From where?
From upstate New York.
Oh, where's...
On my travels this past week. So I never really got into that story, but to save time, I basically had a meeting on Friday up in Syracuse. So I decided to do a little brewery tour of my own, and I hit up a few on the way up. Of
Look
course,
like more than a few.
Yeah, 9.
You hit,
9 to be
like you hit
exact.
about 9. Yeah.
Yeah, 9. I hit 9 breweries.
You hit 9 breweries in how many days?
Well, that's not even close to what Chris over here is putting together.
I did 16 on Friday, Saturday,
Chris,
and Sunday.
I got to talk
good.
to you for a second.
Yeah.
I'm being
Okay.
serious. I actually find your story fascinating.
Okay. That's why we brought him on.
Because that's
too.
1,875 stops, and
Yeah.
I can imagine maybe $10-$20 a pop each time you're there.
Well,
See,
I like to not think about how much money I've spent on
Just
beer.
dropping on beer.
That's a whole lot of beer, dude. That's a
Wait,
whole lot of
have you
fucking
come
money.
to the point where you're just like, I'm not taking anything to go unless it really stands out?
Yeah. No,
Because I would
in
spend
fact,
like $100 just to get stuff to go.
That's
when
what
I was
I
at Gun
say.
Hill, I took a half a case home, and I, between the beers I brought my whole family and then the to-go stuff, I dropped close to $100, and I'm like,
appreciate that.
no, I didn't mean it like
And
that.
by the way, Gun
I
Hill and
appreciate
I
the
are
beer
now
you brought
friends.
back.
There you go, just for you.
Gun Hill and I are now friends. He's my man.
He bought me back right now. That's how he brought
It's
some
a-
beers
it's a
in.
buyback.
We could do a great promotion.
Yeah.
Gun, and then push the gun sound.
I don't know.
It's Gun.
What number is that?
I don't know. Just try it.
No.
Nope. Yeah.
No, that's a crash. No, that's helicopter thunder, kitten, rooster, jungle crickets. There you go. That's you.
That's Mike Nicole.
There it is.
It's actually a cannon.
When you're in the Bronx,
Yeah, yeah.
go.
Oh,
we got that. Hold on.
No, I might have the cannon here. I got to go.
You do.
searching
It's up
for it.
top to the right.
No, there's the machine gun.
Yep.
Right.
That's
And
me
then-
committing
I got
suicide
it.
with 4
I got
kids. Yeah, there it is. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. When you're in the Bronx, go visit Gun Hill Brewery.
There's your promotion spot. Well done. Well produced.
There you go. We're done.
I didn't know you were producing.
I like the cannon sound. You know what? From now on, on Thursday nights, I'm going to go, when you're in the Bronx, go visit Gun Hill Brewery.
There you
Good
go.
one. Nice job.
I like that.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So is this beer
it's
for
not
me
guns,
for my
but-
birthday?
That is your birthday beer. Yes.
Is this from you?
Yes.
What'd you get me, Steve?
So I got you Sweetwater's the 420 strain. I think it was it says G strain or something like that on there.
It's a Rogue.
No,
hazelnut-
that's just the 6-pack carrier. That has nothing to do with what it actually is. So pick out the tall one
It's a
first.
Sweetwater.
Yep.
420 strain
Yep.
G13 IPA.
G13. There it is.
So what does that mean?
So it is brewed with hemp. See?
Yes.
You can't tell what Anthony Graz is into, can you? That's the reason why I got it for him. I had it myself, and it's I when you have it, you're like, oh. When they first came out with it, it was way too much. I was pouring it at the meatball place in Farmingdale, and I would open the tap.
Yes. You
and,
could smell it.
The whole
No.
bar smelled
Yep.
the minute you poured it.
Oh,
it was
that's fucking
ridiculous.
great. Really?
Yeah.
You could smell it?
They've pulled back. Thank God,
thank
because it
God.
was way too much. It was over the top. They over the topped it.
So now I got to try this.
Yeah, open it up again. Oh, you want me to open it up? You want to use my bar trick?
Like some guys?
Yeah.
Sure.
Is it open? No, it's not open. Here.
Fucking
What,
Gun
yeah,
Hill.
I was
Get
gonna
that
say,
pen
yeah.
and ready.
There you go. And that's a wedding ring. That's not
What
an
am I
opening
giving
ring,
these
I
guys?
promise.
Yeah?
I've just been a bartender for way too long with my wedding ring on. And you know how many times in a night?
And you go like, with
Yeah, and I just, fuck
Right
it,
now
I
you
don't
gotta
care.
go back to the Bronx, but you're gonna want to hang out. You want some there?
You can smell it from here. I can smell
my
it now.
God, yeah. seriously.
I can
Straminsky.
smell it now.
You're not getting any.
Thank you, bro.
I'm good. I already had a 6-pack of it.
Cheers.
I wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Cheers, buddy.
Nice to meet you.
Happy birthday, bud.
Cheers.
Happy birthday, big guy.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
And then the other one I put in there, you can read off, was another one that I had recently that I thought you'd like because of the stoutiness, the chocolatiness.
Oh, that's the Lagunitas.
Yep.
Lagunitas Willitzer.
Yes, but what is it, though?
It's a coffee stout aged in rye oak barrels. Oh, my God.
There you go.
I think I just pooped my pants.
But it does. It has a tremendous amount of
That's
coffee
fucking
backbone on
phenomenal.
it for you. So I knew you liked those two things. The weed and the chocolate nibs. That's pretty much you in a nutshell.
Yeah,
when it
that's
comes to
me.
Weed and nibs.
weed and nibs. Maybe we'll make a chocolate weed beer one day.
Maybe wait, hold on. Maybe if our pals in the Bronx, Gun
Oh, right. There you
Hill
go. Sorry,
Brewery,
not paying attention.
will make us a hemp style beer. We'll be in.
Well, I'm sure that's something that you.
I don't know how they're getting away with this though.
Well, because it's not. There's no THC. It's just hemp.
Yeah, but
It's the
you
male.
can't do CBD yet in beer.
No, not here.
Yeah.
But there's
Well,
none of that
could-
either.
You could use hemp oil.
Correct.
Oh my God, you
In-
can
in beer.
smell it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's nothing other
He's so
than the
happy.
smell. That's the only thing that they're getting out of it. So there's no other.
It's just aroma.
Right, aroma. Yeah. Pretty much. And like I said, the first time they released that, it was so over the top.
I remember sitting. I was actually first time I had it. I was sitting at barbecue in Patrick.
Yes, they had it out there too. Yeah.
And I'm sitting there and I'm talking with someone, and I'm like,
who's
"Who
smoking?
the fuck just walked in from?"
From taking a walk.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "What the?"
Either someone needs to do their shirt laundry or.
I was like, "Holy shit!" And then it was at the time.
Yeah.
Kim, the bartender, was like, "No, that's this fucking
Every
beer."
time he opened the
And
tap.
sure enough, I was like, Jesus.
It's crazy. They've toned it back a lot. That's why now it's like a G13 because they don't want to associate.
Steve, let's go on a hemp tour. Let's go on a hemp brewery tour.
Well, you can go out to Colorado and get that. If
I want to. All kidding aside, and I'm not saying anything about Gun Hill, but this other guy over here.
You missed out on that.
Yeah, I should have. Hold on. When you're in the Bronx and you like hemp, go to Gun Hill Brewery.
Or if you like beer.
Or you like beer. Or you like beer.
Or any of that. That's fair.
Beer, yeah.
So go ahead. What were you going to say?
This guy's been everywhere. Tell me, okay.
Oh, you're going back to
you're talking about me. Okay.
Yes, Chris. What's his name?
He's got a little man crush on him
Hey,
right
Chris,
now.
I'm Graz. Have you ever listened to the show before?
Yes, I have.
I'm the comedic relief on the show. So now that I've showed up, you guys will probably want to stay an extra 20 minutes. So all right. So where is now? If you I want to take a tour, I'm going to Massachusetts for a Green Dogs tournament.
Okay.
I'm going by Fenway Park, and I want to take everybody from my Green Dogs
team. You're gonna pack your cat
to a nice.
Pack your cat.
I'm gonna pack the cat.
I have it.
And I'm gonna bring the kids too. It's gonna be wicked cool.
Wicked.
And
have it yet?
So where do you recommend by Fenway Park in Massachusetts?
Well, there is a brewery directly across the street from Fenway Park, Boston Beer Works.
Yep.
They're all right, actually.
So you're recommending Boston Beer Works?
That's not the first place.
No.
I mean, for a place that could make terrible beer and probably make bank just doing that because they're right across the street from Fenway Park.
Right.
They actually make good beer.
A pregame spot.
Yeah.
Kind of like Mickler when they opened up at Citi Field.
Yeah,
I mean, I wasn't giving them a lot of credit, and then they came out with like 30 taps. I'm like, where the fuck did they get all this beer from?
Also,
and then another 10 guest taps on top of it.
Yeah, it's like
more than that.
Yeah,
it's a lot. There's like 50.
They have 60 taps.
60 taps.
60 taps
Holy
total.
shit.
Yep.
Have you been to Mickler, Graz?
Please, I haven't been to fucking anywhere. The only place I was at was a place in Rehoboth.
Only place he's been is Gilgo Beach with the bodies.
With the bodies. Leave me alone. No, I'm getting like my new friend Secretag. I like Secretag.
Okay.
I liked Barrage, but I can't go there no
No,
more.
well, you can, but you just sit in the fucking parking lot.
You can pour one out.
You can pour one out. You can pour one out for your homies.
Bring a six-pack and sit there and talk about it.
Steve, why don't we do a podcast in the parking lot one night?
Actually,
we just sit there. That would be a great idea, Mike.
I think that I think you're onto something here. I think this might be a good just a road show for no reason.
Well, here's the problem with it. Our ex-parking lot was notorious for
people having
late,
sex in
it. Late
really?
night
was it really?
rendezvous.
Oh boy,
there would be many times we'd get to the brewery in the morning. And it'd be used condoms.
Oh,
just
God.
And of course, I would blame my work. I'm like,
Yes.
come on, fucking guys. We just threw them away.
Literally fucking.
Yes.
Now on your beer tour, all your stops, could you put together a really cool baseball beer tour?
So
like I'm a huge Met fan, and one of my things in my bucket list is I'd like to hit as many
to see them win.
As many, besides
you and me both. You and me both.
Listen, we have a show called Limo Talk on Thursday nights, and it's mostly all Met fans,
sports,
and we talk sports, and we're just dying right now.
You guys talked to Mad Dog this past week.
Oh, that guy is fucking incredible. That guy is.
Did you got Russo on?
Oh, we get him all the time. We get Mad Dog Russo on all the time. He's my favorite guest of all. We just had Leyritz on 2 weeks ago.
Oh wow! How about Russo's old piece of shit partner?
Well, he doesn't really. He doesn't really. I should play you a 4-minute skit of Russo. You should listen to this skit. Mike, would you play that maybe a little bit later on? Before we go, I have it, Michael. Yes, I do. So I want to go. We talk a lot of sports, and I want to get these guys together and maybe start off with going to a Baltimore or somewhere. What do you recommend, Chris?
So Denver's an obvious choice.
Oh wow!
I mean, these
guys are talking Pittsburgh. They want to go see.
I mean, Pittsburgh's great.
Hello.
Pittsburgh's great, and there's a great ballpark. There's a great brewery right by the ballpark there.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Southern Tier has an outpost there.
Where?
In Pittsburgh, right by the ballpark.
They do?
Yeah.
Why don't you have a roving podcast going on, Chris?
I don't know.
That's right, Mikey. Got a podcast happening.
What's going on, Mad Dog? How are you?
Mikey, man, I'm a fan. Talking about Mets baseball there, Mikey.
Everything all right?
Feeling good, feeling great. I thought I heard you on the air, so I give a call. It's a limo talk here.
It's not limo talk. It's the Word with Mike and Pete.
And Steve.
Wait, Pete's not here. Pete's expecting a baby. He's actually going to give
He
birth
had
himself.
He gave it.
Steve Pominski's here as the guest host. And
Hey, Steve from Steveville. Go ahead, you're on the fan.
Yeah.
And we got our boy from Gun Hill over here. What's his first name?
Dave.
Hey, Dave from Gun Hill, Mad Dog.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, you're on the fan with Mike and Mad Dog.
And we got Chris from Brewing the Tour or whatever it is.
Brewing
Chris.
Go ahead, you're on the fan with Mike and Mad Dog show. Go.
So, Mad Dog, it's my birthday, and Mike's asked me to. He's allowed me to come in. So,
Hey, happy birthday there, Mikey.
thank you. I appreciate it. I put your show up that when you called in a couple weeks ago, and it's doing great. So I thank you so much.
That's no problem, Mikey. Anytime for a fan, anytime for a guy.
All right. Well, listen, Chris is going to put together a beer tour for us with Steve, and we're going to go and hang out on a couple of, maybe a good ballpark or two. You interested in coming?
Sounds like a good time there, Mikey. I just don't want to get caught with my tube sock and my ham hock hanging out there, Mikey.
I don't want your tube sock or your ham hock hanging out. Trust me, nobody wants that. Listen.
My Twinkie roll and my glory hole there, Mikey.
Yeah, I think it was what did you say, your yellow maker and your duty baker or something like that.
That's right, Mikey. I don't want to be caught with my pants around my ankles there.
Again.
Well, Chris, he makes a wine now up in Taconic. It's Mad Dog 1600 wine.
1800 wine there, Mikey.
I'm sorry. It's Mad Dog 1800. So we haven't gotten one shipment in the last 6 months because he gets the tracking numbers wrong all the time.
I don't get them wrong. I'm reading them right off the label and the receipt I got from the USPS there, Mikey.
Yeah, but I don't know where you're bringing them because I'm not getting any of this wine, Mad Dog.
All right, get a pen.
What? Oh, here we go. Go ahead, Mad Dog. I got a pen.
All right, it's a 16-digit tracking number. You ready there, Mikey?
I'm ready, Mad Dog.
All right, here it goes. 3549.
I didn't hear you. You were slightly muffled. What was that again?
All right, 3549 there, Mikey.
3549.
1604.
1604.
4285.
4285.
9375 there, Mikey. Write it down. Keep it down.
9375. Keep it down. Puff, puff. What was that?
Keep it in your breast pocket there, Mikey.
Okay. So that's a 16-digit number that I'm expecting my Mad Dog 1800 wine, correct?
I did a split case for you there, Mikey. I got some Pinot Noir. And a little Chardonnay, a little red and white for the kids.
For the kids.
Did you get me anything with hemp in it?
Mikey, we don't do that there yet, Mike.
All right, well, it's time. I think it's time. All right? I think
Not
it's
time yet, till the government tells me I'm good to go.
You're good to go. I'm telling you you're good to go, Mad Dog.
All right.
Are you going to show up one of these nights at Limo Talk?
Not at all there, Mike. You got too much on my plate. I got the winery. I got the ice skating rink with Pierre Turgeon out there. I got a lot of stuff going on.
Pierre Turgeon.
It wasn't Pierre Turgeon. It was DiPietro was there, wasn't he?
Nah, DiPietro's still playing there, Mikey. You got to get Pete Turgeon.
But when Turgeon's gone now, or is Turgeon still helping you?
No, he's gone now. I sent him out after I fell down. I had my brown hole and my cyst roll out there for everyone to see there, Mikey, on the raw ice. I don't need it.
The raw ice.
All right, Mad Dog.
Listen, I got to get back. I got to get back to the farm. I
All right, well,
get going. I
it was
get the horses in the barns. I got to get the chains riled up. I got all stuff to do there, Mikey.
Listen, it was an honor for you to call us tonight on the Wort with Mike and Pete, substituted by.
I thought it was Limo Talk. I always forget what nights you're on there, Mike.
Limo Talk's Thursday nights, Mad Dog. Tonight's Monday.
All right, sounds good there, Mikey. I'll be back on Thursday on Limo Talk. Tune in to the Fan, WFAN, Mike and the Mad Dog Show. Every time on your drive home, 3 to 6, every day. Good night, everybody.
Good night, man. He calls everybody Mikey. Everybody's Mikey. I was Mikey 15 times in like a 1 4-minute thing. He's fantastic. Miss that guy a lot. What are you doing, man? Why did you go to the bathroom?
You had to go to the bathroom.
I was filling up to my eyes with piss. It's crazy.
You missed Mad Dog again, Michael.
What?
Yep.
Every time.
Yep.
Every time.
You left. It was weird.
Dude, it's every fucking time. that I end up pissing. He called into my show?
Yeah, he called to wish me a happy
This
birthday.
is bullshit.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Well, listen, it's my birthday. I'm going to let you guys
Happy
talk
birthday,
beer.
Mike.
He was wishing Mikey.
Oh, of course. He always talks to Mikey. I listened to that 4-minute clip you guys had to start off the show last week.
I think that, Steve, you want to hear a good 4 minutes of Mad Dog?
We're not going to do it now.
All right.
Yeah, we're not gonna no, seriously. Leave the teaser out there for people if they want to hear Mad Dog on your show. Go to Limo Talk on gubsradio.com and listen to the first 4 minutes of your show, and then you might like it so much you might keep listening in.
That's why you're great at radio and I'm not.
Well, it's just about the tease. Oh, you thought there was none left.
I
was
thought there was.
Yeah, it's a crap. It's a crowler.
Oh,
yeah.
You got more?
It's got more of everything.
Oh, please.
I got more beer in here, and you've got more beer to share, right?
One more.
yes.
No, I think it's just a light lager again.
Oh, well, we're going to save that for him. That's fine.
I don't know why he's saving it for me.
No, we can save it for you. We had it.
We have it.
And I've had it. That's one of the things I brought home from the brewery.
Was it?
Yeah. It was
Chris,
good.
where do you live?
I live in Brooklyn.
Okay. So now, if you come out to the island, where's your top 3 places that you go to?
Well, it's a good one because I asked him about
question.
regional.
Oh yeah, I never even answered that.
Never
regional
even answered that in the last
Blew
segment.
that shit right 2 hours ago.
And you can't blame it on me interrupting you guys. I wasn't
true.
here.
That is true. This time it's not you.
Okay, so I'll answer the region question first.
Okay.
It's definitely California.
Yeah,
I mean, it's probably San Diego to be specific.
Okay.
It's just, I mean, there's like
so
160, and the average quality is higher than you'd expect.
Anything that's
because a lot
anywhere
of
else. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of what I call the family tree of brewers.
Okay.
It's, these really like iconic breweries opened there like 20 years ago, and people worked for them, and then they left and started their own places.
Oh boy.
And
You're all right over there.
Getting naked.
I need more beer.
The pants are off.
Is that what it was?
Yes.
That was a sudden realization you were out of beer?
Well, no, I don't. I'm going to put these in my refrigerator so
Okay.
I can enjoy it at my
Yeah.
leisure.
We got
I'm
plenty of
going
beer
to
here.
use your beer now.
Okay.
I want to get.
I'm gonna use your
Remember when
beer.
you go to the Bronx and you want hemp? Yeah, there you go.
There we go, buddy.
Gun Hill. Look, he's got it set. I like that.
I have it permanently on the cannon, so if you want to keep doing that, that's fine.
That's great.
So yeah, it's
could
just a
crack
family.
this.
It's, people
He's
start
gonna want some of
breweries and then they make good beer, and
Yeah.
next place goes and they make good beer. So yeah.
Okay, so how about Long Island?
Okay,
If
so
you-
Long Island.
Yeah,
top
that's
three. Top 3 Long Island.
Top 3 Long Island.
this is Graz.
That's like a fucking.
Yeah, but I'm going to pour you a stout here. Oh well, it's going to overpower it. It's true. You all right? Don't just take that. We're gonna have. I want to taste this too. I haven't had this.
That looks like motor oil.
Yeah, it does. Here, start with that.
Who makes this?
Oh my god.
This is from IBU.
Lunch lady.
Yeah, the lunch lady land.
Okay,
So yeah.
All right, so
Long
top
Island,
3, Chris.
Long Island. All right.
Do you want
coming
to
to
you
Long
want to do
Island?
an area of Long Island? 'Cause
No,
we
top
see
3.
them as hubs.
Yeah.
But
One
Oh, do you
Nassau,
want me to do
one-
like
your best area on Long Island.
my best area?
All right, wait. Let me premise this for saying I'm putting together a beer tour.
Okay.
That's starting at
And
Hopscotch
that's why-
Bottle Company.
Yep.
And going to Secatog.
Yep.
And then going to 1940s Brewery for Charlie.
Okay.
And now they both gave me a nice little discount on the price. And they both allowed me to have food brought in. there.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
It was
So,
it was
now,
done with a
how
local
would that rate
coffee
in your
That is
journals?
coffee.
Yeah.
I haven't been back to 1940s in a while. I went to Secatog right after they opened and thought that they were really solid for having just opened.
Yep.
I was really impressed.
For someone who wasn't in like a homebrew club, it really didn't. It came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
That's what it was. It came
Yep.
out of. He came out of nowhere.
Yep. And I mean, obviously,
And he's a nice guy, too.
Yeah. And it's obviously a tap room designed to, bring people in, and
We've been
we
talking
talked
about
about it.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's an we'll say it is an Instagram friendly tap
Yes,
room.
it is.
It looks like a Chase Bank. On the
You
outside,
get a
it looks
mortgage
like
and a
Chase
beer.
Bank.
What do you need?
On the outside, it does look like a Chase Bank.
It does.
Yeah.
It looks like a Chase
It
Bank.
was
from the
actually a
out-
mortuary.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a bank and a mortuary at one time, which
Yep.
is weird to have that ends of the spectrum.
But I will tell you this: it's got the coolest ass Christmas tree I've ever seen.
That was a big Christmas
They had a
tree.
great tall
Helps
Christmas
when you have
tree.
40-foot ceilings.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So I
So,
really
yeah.
like. I mean, the Greenport Harbor is still like a great
Yeah,
place to
absolutely.
go back to.
Where?
Solid from day one. Greenport.
Yeah, Greenport.
All right, so then you make your way out there, Greenport. Now come back.
Okay. Sand City, I guess. I mean, it has to be.
Where's
I mean,
Sand
I've-
City?
They're
Northport.
Northport, yeah.
So we're going Greenport, Northport. Holy shit, Ken and
Well,
Nassau.
yeah, I know.
Well, if you wait like 3 months, it'll be Lindenhurst.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
true.
that's true. Yep.
Why is Steve coming back in Lindenhurst?
No.
City.
Sand City South is opening in my town along with 27A. And the Meadworks. I always
And
have
the
to say
Meadworks.
Meadworks, so otherwise Joe will fucking punch me in the face.
Joe will fuck you up.
Meadworks?
Like, are you didn't fucking say the Meadworks? Yeah.
Bruce will choke you out.
All right, so you went Northport,
Yep.
Greenport,
And then
what's
Kenny
the third?
Bunkport.
and then the parking lot of Exploration.
Yeah. For some
With all
late
the
night
used
snacking.
condoms.
And the greatest parking lot I've ever been to, Barrages, where you can get used condoms and a chick to watch and having sex at 4 o'clock.
Drop an engine at 3 a.m. right out the pickup truck.
Oh, if you want beer, no, that happened about a year ago. That guy's gone.
Yeah, well, rest in peace.
Riverhead would probably be
Riverhead,
just,
just
in
because
terms
Long
of just-
Island
yeah.
and Mustache and North Fork now,
North
and
Fork
Uber
was
Geeks
another
out of
place I thought
North
was
Fork.
really
What's your up and comer? What's your up and comer?
Crooked Ladder, old Crooked Ladder is going to be Trade Winds.
Trade Winds, yeah, I did hear that.
Crooked
Yeah.
Ladder closed?
Oh yeah.
It was
Months ago. Almost a year ago now.
Duffy from Greenport. He hooked up with a couple of guys, and so now they're opening up Trade Winds in the old.
Now,
Crooked
is in
Ladder.
Trade Winds like a Lessings kind of thing?
I don't know.
So
Steve?
you're talking
Didn't say that.
Greenport. You're talking Greenport. You're talking
Yeah, you're just going to stay out there in the east
Riverhead.
side. Yep.
And what was the other one?
No, that's it. You could hit up like 4 in
No, he
Riverhead.
had 3. He said Greenport, Riverhead,
And then he said Northport. Yeah, Northport. And you come back down.
Really?
Back to Deer Park or wherever, yeah. And you actually come right down.
Who's your up and comer? Who's your up and comer?
Oh yeah. Who's your wild card right
I mean,
now?
Secatog is probably an up and comer, but
Yeah.
I think they've
already there.
Like
So-
they're already there to people who are like here,
Mhm.
but like in the city, I
Hmm.
mentioned them and no one's.
I only know them because of the Dubco guy.
How about Fifth? How about Fifth Hammer?
Because they did a
I love
collaboration,
Fifth Hammer.
and then they also are helping them with another one, and now they just did another collaboration with the Brewers Collective.
Yes.
They did like a 10%
Yes.
stout, I think it was, or something like that.
Steve,
so
what
they're
would
starting to reach out and starting to collab more too, which is going to get the name out.
What
there.
would be your 3 top spots, Steve?
Ooh, for you.
Yes, if
Long Island.
You're
For
taking
just
you're
Long
taking
Island.
a-
Long Island.
We're
Just
taking
Long
the
Island.
Graz bus, Steve. We're getting in the Graz bus, and we're starting here in Levittown. We're going to Farmingdale. Stop by my house. Make sure we get everything.
My wife's gonna make sandwiches.
We're gonna make sandwiches.
Get some sandwiches.
Gonna make bologna and cheese
My
sandwiches.
wife will do the
Like a
right
good
thing. We'll have
bologna.
nice sandwiches.
Nice
And we're on our way out. Where are we going?
Well, I would head to Bayshore.
Ooh, there you go.
For Dubco
Ghost.
and Ghost.
Yeah, I like that.
Definitely those two.
Like it.
Back to back. And it's a short drive. And I would probably have to.
You can always just whip around to GSB, but
you could.
You could. I mean, you're literally in the same building.
GSB?
You could.
Or you just have one of the many beers that are contracted there.
Right.
Which
all of
yeah,
the beers.
You could get Root and Branch.
Yep.
You could get
Nightmare.
Nightmare.
Where's that?
Well, no, they don't.
Where's
do
that?
Yeah, no, he's up to 12%.
Where is that? At Ghost?
No. In Ghost,
So
the building is...
How many places am I allowed to go?
Three.
You said 3. So you,
Okay,
went, you
3.
said Ghost?
So I'm in Bayshore, and then
Come on, Steven.
Well,
think.
Shut
Easy.
I would leave. Yeah, there you go. I'd probably leave Bayshore, and then.
Ooh, okay.
And then. Yeah, this is that's a rough one.
You want to go back this way and come to like Small Craft, or
I would probably go just to change it up. I'd go to Meadworks.
Ooh, I like it. I like it.
Just because
Good one. There you go, Joe.
It's something different, but is really well done.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And now, Mike, what would be your 3?
Fuck.
I'm sorry. Am I putting you on the spot?
I wasn't
Since you are the
expecting-
host of the Mike and Pete
Yeah, I
show,
don't
the
know.
greatest beer show in the world on the Hopped Up Network.
If I had to go, I had to go to 3 breweries in Nassau or Suffolk County. I'm gonna say for me, let's go Small Craft, Secatog, Sand City. Boom.
Okay.
There's my 3.
Yep. Cool.
I go 2 South Shore and 1 North Shore. Harborhead too. I think sometimes Harborhead gets a bad rap, and because they're not big and boisterous, but he's put out some really great stuff. And I haven't tasted anything recently because they rebranded everything. So things are a lot different looking and a lot different tasting, but Will still puts out a decent beer. So
Now, Mr. Gun Hill, where would you go?
I haven't been to enough out here, honestly.
Well, no, let's say
What's your top three in New York right
New
now?
York, yeah.
Where would you go,
Expand
Mr.
Gun Hill.
When you're in
Number one, start the beer. Start the brewery where I can get behind the bar and drink off
from
the
Gun
tap.
Hill, and then we're gonna go to Gun Hill, and
back to
finish
Gun
up
Hill.
at Gun
Well,
Hill.
I actually could do that.
We're gonna make sure
I
the
have
smoke.
other
We're
locations.
gonna make sure the
So
black
I could
smokers
go to-
out
I
there.
could do that.
What you could do is you go off the taps for the first beer, the cans for the second, and then go right off the bright tank or the barrels for the third. There you go.
And make sure the black smokers outside.
Black
Yeah.
smoke.
Black
Oh,
smoke,
yeah, right.
Not the silver one.
No,
the
not
black
the
one.
silver one. The guy is doing the jerk. The jerk is the.
Because we all know what's going on with the black one.
That's right.
That's right.
Cannons out of the smoker. No, but seriously, what did you drink prior to like this endeavor, or what do you still drink to this day, based on that? Let me taste that. 'Cause I haven't had a
You haven't?
sip. No, I haven't tasted
Well, I already told you what I drank prior to this.
Oh, well, Coors Light, besides that.
Coors Light and playing baseball.
He plays baseball, by the way, Graz.
He does?
Yeah, I do.
Graz
Nice.
does, like I said,
My
sports talk.
12-year-old is one of his whole team is top ranked here on the East Coast. They're a travel team. The Farmingdale Green Dogs. They play
only a six.
perfect game.
Yep, I know Perfect Game.
Yeah, they play perfect games. There are a lot of tournaments of perfect game. They're rated.
It's an expensive endeavor.
Yeah, it is expensive endeavor. We were just in Charlottesville, Virginia, to spend 2 days with the Virginia athletic staff and the coach.
Just don't go to Richmond.
Yeah.
They have a good beer, but
they have a good beer.
good beer.
A
Mike,
good
we're
beer.
not still up on Facebook. I don't know if you know that.
Talk about Willis.
I don't know. It says that we're.
I don't care. I don't care.
All right. Never mind.
Here's a couple more IBUs, and Willow Creek here. So those are some of the other ones I had. So you can choose. That one does not tell me what it is. It just says
multiple choice.
Multiple choice. I don't know what the fuck that was.
No IBU.
It wasn't.
IBU doesn't know the IBU.
You don't know the IBU of the IBUs.
And it wasn't up on the board. So that was one that was just sitting in the cooler.
I think it is absolute nonsense that they would even put that on the can. What the IBUs are, because unless they're actually testing it,
right?
It is
There's no way they would know.
no way you're gonna know.
No.
Wait. Is it multiple? Here's the worst thing. I'm like, oh, let me take a look at Untapped, and let me see if it says what it is. Multiple choice. There's a multiple choice A, a multiple choice B, and a multiple choice C.
It says it on there. Which one?
Does it say which one is?
C.
Yeah.
C.
Okay, what is it?
It's a New England IPA.
Yeah.
With a burst
Raz.
of soft, juicy,
Finish this.
citrusy flavor from all mosaic.
All right. So
Oh,
then
it's all
open.
mosaic.
Then open the other one. What's that? Brunch.
Brunch.
That's another stout, I believe.
Brunch.
There's a breakfast stout.
Here he goes.
Hey, you can open this.
Graz is
Open that and drink that.
and he's out.
Yeah, that's all right. I've had enough.
That was a deep sound. That,
New England IPAs from them. I had a bunch of others too. They had like 5 different IPAs, so I thought I was choosing a different experiment, but I guess not.
See, when Michael goes away with the family and meets and stops at like 9 places,
Yeah,
he gets me.
I didn't go with the family. I was alone.
Were you really?
All by myself.
Did you?
Yes.
You went to IBU Syracuse, correct?
Yes, I had a meeting up in Syracuse. So I didn't get finished talking about which ones I went to. So
Yeah.
I said I swung by Catskill just to make up the stamp because I've been there before and been in the brewery before. So that was I think that was the first stop. I could be wrong. I'm trying to think if I went something earlier. Rushing Duck is in Chester.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Very good stuff. But I don't think that was that time. I've been there, but I don't think it was. No. There was something else in that town, though. There was another one in that town.
There is another one in the town.
Yeah.
It's,
I don't remember the name of it.
something
Brothers? Something Brothers?
No. I'm gonna
Whatever it
look
was, that's the one I went to. And
It was like kind of on a farm.
Made a real
yes, it
impression
was.
on
It was
you.
kind. Yeah, no, it did.
Remember the name?
No,
and
it's-
everything?
Because I didn't get anything to go, and I was in there, and boom, boom, out in 10 minutes. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't. Like I need to stay here and I need to take everything to go.
But it's legitimately on a farm. You
yes,
know, it's like
yes.
Long Lot Farm.
Yes, long lot.
That's-
Yep.
yep.
You got it.
I've been there.
I would never thought of that. That would have never came to my mind. I couldn't. I'm not on my phone, so I have no idea. So then Catskill was the second stop. But Morrison Open, I went up to. I was that guy. I went up to the door. No one could see me, so I was like, all right, I'm out. But I got then moving on from Roscoe. That's when it started kind of rapid fire. It got to be about
becoming a blur.
Well, a little bit because it got to be close to 12 o'clock, and by that point, the breweries were all technically open. I think my next stop was Heritage Hill.
Oh, okay.
So I had.
How you doing? My name is Mike.
No,
I
didn't talk like that.
I got a show called The Wort.
No, I wasn't that bad. I wasn't that bad walking in because I didn't have that much to go into. I had one beer in me, and that was it. And drove for 3 hours already, so I was done. But yeah, the Heritage Hill, when I got lunch, I think I had like a Cuban sandwich, which was a pulled pork, smoked pulled pork Cuban sandwich, delicious. Now I'm starving. And a nice flight, and then of course I moved on from there. So then it was Onco, it was Willowbrook, it was IBU in that order, I believe, and there was one other.
Did you do? You didn't do? Did you do Full Bore?
No.
Eastwood?
No.
Eastwood's really.
I'll
cool.
tell you because I have my stamps, so I can tell you right now.
You know what? Colored the entire.
Wait,
what? Really on Untapped.
You know what?
No, it's I think New York Drink New York. The real one, not the Untapped bullshit.
So, Chris, when's your next trip? Where is your next trip?
I'm going to Wilmington, North Carolina, this weekend.
For?
To visit breweries. There's like 14 breweries in Wilmington.
Now, do you go by yourself or you go with family, friends, your wife?
This time I'm going by myself.
Yeah?
I would say like every third trip I do with friends.
Cortland Beer Company.
You did Cortland.
I did Cortland.
Oh.
Couldn't think of it. I don't know
I have thoughts about Cortland.
Really? I didn't find
Are
bad
they
experience.
as bad as Richmond?
No. I think their beer is totally fine. I just have thoughts about the city of Cortland, New York.
Okay.
It's like Albany.
Yeah.
It's craziness. My kid goes to Albany. He's a senior. It's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, that whole town.
Yeah, but do college kids actually visit breweries?
No.
you know
they
what?
go to the fucking local bodega and drink.
I think they do now.
They do?
I think they do.
You think it's starting to get like Instagram?
I think it depends. Where
It's a social media thing where they're
if they're positioning it in a college town, they'll go.
Yeah.
I mean, in Knoxville's where University of Tennessee is.
Yeah.
All freaking weekend I was carded, and every brewery I went to I was carded. And
Was there a cover?
there was no cover.
cover.
but there were people who appeared to be students.
Okay.
So what's the nicest brewery town you've been to?
Nicest brewery town.
That you would say go to that town, you can hang out for 3-4 days and just drink beer.
San Diego, yeah. Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Really?
Yeah, that's another one.
Seems
that I
like
would put on there.
Really?
I wouldn't go there this time of year. I would go to San Diego in the winter, and I'd go to.
Why Grand Rapids, Michigan?
There's a lot of great beer there. There's a lot of breweries there.
Bit much.
And
I don't mind it because I like
the
coffee.
vast
but it's
majority of the
dry.
beer is good.
There wasn't a lot of other flavors.
Asheville, North Carolina is another one I would.
North Kakalaka, Asheville.
I mean, every city in North Carolina has like.
I know.
10 or 15 breweries.
So we have friends that lived up here that we used to work with, my wife and I, and they moved down to just outside Charlotte. And so for us, the first thing that comes to mind is if we're going to go down there and we're going to visit them for a couple days, we need to go to breweries.
Yeah.
Like that's going to be my thing. So I got to get on a map and I got to look.
He's made me do that now too.
Get damn right.
Now I go with the Green Dogs team. So anywhere we go now, I text him. Like we were in Rehoboth, and he told me about, what was it?
Dogfish Head?
Snake bite?
Dogfish.
What is it?
Dogfish.
Dogfish.
But there were others down there too, and I said you could check out this one. You end up at Dogfish. Which is
we
fine.
end up but you know what I mean? He sends me these now, and now I'm starting to like it.
Yeah.
So now my question to you is, how the hell did you get started doing this?
Beer.
I had a friend who lived in Seattle and grew up in Portland, and I went out there twice. And
two big hubs for
I mean,
massive
Portland
amounts of craft
especially, it was
beer.
just like you'd spit and hit a brewery basically. So that was how I really started to get into it, and then it started. After I went to those two cities, it was like every time I went to a city, I'm like, oh, let's see if some breweries are here.
Now, you have a piece of every single place that you've gone to?
No, not really. I mean, I have a picture of every single place I go to.
Okay.
But
since day one, since the first one?
Not since day one. I mean, brewery number one was
before he had a cell phone.
Yeah. I had a cell phone.
Was Anheuser-Busch at SeaWorld?
I think it was a Nokia. A Nokia.
It was
cell
2008,
phone.
right? Right?
Yeah, there you go.
It was
2004.
It was 2004. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you're doing this 16
Pretty good with my
years.
cell phone history.
Yeah.
Now, Gun Hill. How long are you in the beer business?
6 years.
You're a puppy.
Yeah.
Well, not really for.
He's got 30,000 followers. He ain't a fucking puppy. He's a fucking.
I mean, a lot of the
he's the
local
man.
ones are celebrating their 10 years, so he's not far off the mark. So it's
and
not
by
that
by New York City standards, you were
Yeah, I
still
know.
early on in
Yeah.
the game,
Right.
Because I mean, there like he even mentioned there were 5 or 6 breweries in New
Yeah.
York City at the time that they were starting to
Plan
Right,
everything.
and put it together, yeah.
So I mean, and when you guys opened,
There were about 4 of us that opened right around the same time.
Yeah.
What were the 4? Do you remember?
Other half opened just before us.
Wow.
Finback was right around us.
Another big name.
Flagship was right after us.
Okay. I thought they were around
Are
a
they all
lot
still?
longer.
Are they all still open?
They're all still open. Yeah.
But you know what? When you go to the Bronx and you want hemp,
Was
you
Bridget
go to
Tunnels
Gun.
around there too?
Hello. Hill Brewery.
It gets us.
Gets you every time.
Yeah.
Open, but not like he is now.
Yeah. That's interesting because that's a good class to be in. You
Yeah.
know, other half Finback and what'd you say that one was?
Flagship.
Right.
They're much cooler than we are.
You know what's funny? Flagship I thought was very old just because I guess the styles they were doing. But now they're doing a lot more contracting. As we know, R&H is contracting out of there, and there's a couple of more that are contracting in there.
You know, I think Flagship has done an incredible job appealing to beer drinkers from Staten Island.
Yes.
I think they
Traditional-
carved out. I think they carved out an incredible niche to be the brewery for Staten Island.
Because nobody else is lasting, correct? Weren't there 2 others that went under in the last couple of years?
There was one other.
One other.
And
went
the other
under.
one is
and
more of a-
Killsborough. I think Killsborough appeals to a specific beer drinker, not necessarily,
Because they're
beer
also a
drinker on Staten
restaurant.
Island.
Well, but they're also now trying to distribute more. Too.
Right, yeah,
They're
they
trying to
distribute-
get out-
they are
they're trying to get out a
distributing
lot
more.
more
Yeah.
than even Flagship.
But they also were serving, Hetty Topper out of their brewery.
Yeah.
So it didn't feel like their own. It felt like they're brewing beer in the back, and then they also have a restaurant bar up front, and that didn't feel quite like a real brewery at the time. I guess they're kind of converting a little more that's selling and distributing, but or
they
getting
were-
more popularity.
They're making pretty solid beer right from day
Yes,
one.
yeah. Agreed. Yeah.
And but yeah, I think they're appealing to someone different than like you go there and you go to Flagship and they're walking distance from
Walking
each other,
distance, yeah.
but the completely different crowds at both.
Yes.
Very different experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I like to know what the crowd would be if Steve was pouring beer in that parking lot. So we should do a podcast.
Hookers and
where-
hoes,
we should- I'm
baby.
telling you, we
Hookers
should
and
do a
hoes.
podcast where Steve is pouring beer in the parking lot. People got to come to us.
Not a bad idea. I mean,
Find
you
the
might be
beer.
onto something.
Find
I'm
the
gonna
beer,
admit.
and we all hang out like we have the big shots. Hang out in the parking lot. Come find the beer. It's like a fucking. I'm telling you, it'll work.
It'll work for about a half an hour, and then we'll just get
then when
bored
the
of being
police-
back.
you know when
Yeah.
the police will show up, yeah.
Why are there used condoms with this beer? I don't know.
Nope. There it is.
Yeah, there it is.
So, gentlemen, what are you guys doing with this tent and all this beer?
And he's used condoms.
Now I lost.
You
the,
lost the cannon.
The cannon.
Don't lose the
I'll
cannon.
I'll find it. It's in here somewhere.
We gotta do it one more time.
No, we will do it one more time. All right. it's
Why
probably
does that say sex mix? I don't.
No, it's sound effects. Sex mix.
Listen, there used to be a guy named here, Mike. It was called Dr. Love, Steve. He had more drops.
Is it still on here?
No, yeah, he's got more. He's got more drops. I have none. I've been here 4 years.
Should we replace one of these with that?
Let me see. Yeah, that's. There it is.
Entertainment MRI with Mark Lund.
Holy fucking shit!
There it is. That's it. That's from.
That's Dr. Love.
That's Dr. Love right there.
Dr. Love's Sex in the News.
Wow. That's some cool drops, let me tell you. And that's where it ended up. That's classic. All right, anyway.
Can't make
All right.
that shit up.
So Graz, what's the plans for your birthday tomorrow?
Shit, I don't know. I think we're gonna go
On
out
a Tuesday.
On a
I
Tuesday.
think we're gonna have dinner. That's it. It's not too much of a
Dinner
crazy
where?
time. We go to town. We go to Trey Scalini a lot. which is Farmingdale over by Croxley Ales.
Yes, yeah.
It's nobody really knows it's there.
It's a small little place
but
in
it's
the
a
corner,
Brazilian guy that runs it. It's a good little place. He does a good job.
You don't like Vespa?
Vespa's just too crowded. When you go to you'll go to Vespa, it'll be packed. You'll go to Tres Scalini, there's six tables.
Well, that's the scary part. When you walk past it, there's nobody ever in the fucking place.
Yeah, well,
you're wondering how they stay open.
Is it a front for something?
He does a lot of parties and stuff, and he has a lot of personal stuff. He's a good guy. I've been going there for a long time.
All right,
and that's it.
You
and
formed a nice personal relationship.
Yeah, just hanging out. Maybe go to Bronx. You know what? When we're in the Bronx,
yeah,
and you want some hemp,
you
go
go
to Gun Hill
Sorry.
Brewery.
I'm in the middle of choosing music to get the fuck out of here.
Music.
We can't leave these guys here till midnight and then having to drive back to the
They're
Bronx.
fine. Who cares? If he gets a ticket, we'll pay.
But they have to go back to the Bronx to their Gun
Hill Brewery.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, I'll set you up for that one.
Thank you.
All right, so let's just talk about a couple of things. Big things coming up for Gun Hill in the next few weeks, few months. What's the big event for the remainder of 2020? What do you have planned? What's on the docket?
The remainder of 2020.
Well, I mean,
it's not like we just got into it or anything, but you know.
Well, I guess the next biggest thing is we have the opening bash for Beer Week coming up.
So is it New York City Beer Week, right?
New York City Beer Week, but it's opening bash, so it'll be, I guess, from out here. I know.
Is that the one that was at the well that we talked about?
That's Blocktoberfest. This is one of Brooklyn Expo Center.
Okay,
so
all right.
Pretty sure Greenport Harbor will be there.
Nice. Okay.
Sand City, Dubco.
They know the good ones to go to in there. People
yeah.
lose their minds over Sand City, and I like their beer, but it's
people do lose their minds.
It's like the ones the hype ones like Treehouse, Trillium, Equilibrium, Monkish. I can name a few more, but I don't want to.
Are they cool?
Who?
All the people?
Maybe.
Trillium's all right? We
Yeah,
like
you had one
Trillium.
of those. Yeah, those are
I've
all right.
had Trillium.
They're not as
I don't know.
crazy as.
I like
No,
those.
it was just so funny. At opening bash last year, they poured and they didn't have a line.
What? Sand City?
Oh no, not opening bash at Trillium.
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
They didn't have a line?
No.
Because no one knew who they were.
Everyone ran.
No, everyone knew who
to-
Trillium was. They
It
just
was.
I'm surprised they showed up.
We 2 years ago, letting people in was not well organized. But people, once they opened the gates, people sprinted.
Yeah.
I think it was Monkish.
Yeah, I
I would
think it was
imagine.
Monkish.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah,
so
yeah,
far
yeah.
away. There's no way
Yeah,
they'll
yeah.
ever get there.
What's Monkish?
West Coast.
It's L.A.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they were done in 30 minutes.
That makes me fucking laugh.
Well, yeah, but which also makes me believe I'm not really sure if they either brought enough beer or
Okay.
if they were pouring too much, because even if every single person there had it, there's no way you could
3-ounce
there's
pour.
no way you could go through 2 sixtels in 30 minutes.
They
Well,
claim they brought that.
Steve, you said that. Really, when they go to things like that, it's more to just get the beer out.
No,
there,
but
right?
this one's a little unique. This one they do a really good job on getting some unique breweries that don't normally come out and pour, especially in these areas. They do a really good job on collecting some, like Sand City, having them there. That's something you're not going to see that they don't pour all that often. They really don't. So to get that kind of Monkish from the West Coast, to get that's a get. That'll sell the tickets by themselves. Unfortunately for everyone else. But then they had somewhere else
But then
to go.
the problem is that
it goes raw after 30 minutes.
if it
There's
goes
no
done, if
beer.
it's done after 30 minutes and not everybody's even in yet.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, this is bullshit.
So then they all come out. Then they all go to Gun Hill, and we get the beer from
there you
Gun
go.
Hill.
There you go.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
had that double, that DDH.
There
It was
you
good. It was.
When's your next big pour, Gun Hill, out in here in the island?
On
Yeah.
the
What do
island.
you have a festival coming up that you're pouring at?
The island, I don't think that we do.
You should. Let's go.
Smart.
Come on.
No. Shh. Smart.
No, yeah, I don't know when the next time we're gonna pour specifically at an event.
So February 22nd
Yep.
is the
Opening bash.
Yep.
Yep.
Held at the Brooklyn
Expo.
Expo.
Expo
Good.
Center,
All right, I'm getting it all straight now.
Two sessions.
2 sessions.
Yep.
What do tickets cost? How can they get there? Where are they going to find it?
NYCbrewed.
Okay.
.com.
BREWED or
Yep.
apostrophe D?
ED.
ED.
Why are you
okay.
not? Why are you not going live there?
Why aren't we?
Yeah, the
Because the first time I'm realizing it exists, and actually I'm going to be away. I'm going to be up in Worcester.
All right.
Yeah.
Worcester.
So you have a guest. You have a
again.
guest. You have a guest
I know.
podcaster, Steve Pominski, and his
Steve
and,
and Pete with
and
no
he's-
equipment.
There you go.
and Chris
No equipment.
With a
They're just
hand-
standing there
with just my
with their cell phone.
Just a handy.
Doing live to fucking Facebook from their cell phone. You could.
Hey, this is
Really?
Steve
You're
here
more
on Facebook Live.
Steve
Listen.
Sheminsky.
Yeah. Steve Lewinsky.
Lewinsky.
Hi, my
There
name
you
is
go.
Steve Lewinsky.
Hi, my name's Steve Lewinsky.
I'm
I have a
sitting next
stain
to
on
a
my
used condom in the parking lot of the old barrage.
Listen,
We're going live in 3 minutes.
Why do you yell so much?
He does.
I know. I even have him down like halfway, and he's still coming through that mic like crazy. Cuts through butter.
Oh fuck!
You know, if you and Pete get the invite from Dave over here, you guys can more than welcome to go to Instagram on Facebook. But I unfortunately we're going to be in Massachusetts, stuck at
here
a
we go
baptism.
again with
Not
this.
stuck. It's not my godson, but it's my godson's brother. So I'm actually looking forward to it.
Pretty sure you can make it in time for the second session.
Nah, the baptism is at 12. The ceremony ends
You're
at
in the
1.
car by 12:30, and
I'm going to get in a lot of trouble if I start leaving a baptism right after the ceremony in 20 minutes.
You have a little bite to eat at the reception.
Yes.
I will, and then
you have a schmear,
4-hour
and then-
drive back. I already have ferry schedule and everything. It's a no-go. It's a no-go. I'm not going to lose my $118 on the ferry and the tickets. Yeah, it's something like that.
Well, if I gave you tickets for free, that
Well,
would
it might offset the cost.
Oh shit!
You know what?
Everything just changed.
If you're gonna give me
that
tickets
guy's
for free,
great.
Right now, he's like, "Oh crap! How do I break this to my wife?"
No. If you're gonna give tickets for free, I would do the right thing and give them away right now for anyone that's listening.
Oh no, you would not.
I would say the first caller at 516-465-3990 or 516-513-0515 would win tickets to it. But
Hold on, I'm on that in a second.
no,
Yeah, hi, this is Mike.
Hi, my name is Sue, and I smoke a lot, but I like an IPA.
No, I'm just kidding. Listen, maybe in the future, next year, we'll think about it. And like I said, Pete and I are going to be very selective in the live shows we want to do because of things like that. That's something we've never been to. It seems like it'd be a really cool collection of city-based and also.
Yeah, but it's not even about doing the live show. You should just go to
I
to
know,
like
I
the
know,
network
I know.
and get people to come out to this show.
That's true. That's true.
I'm starting to like this
We're
guy.
gonna start a trend.
Yeah, but it means more when I have a table set up with microphones and people are like, oh, they're a real fucking thing, not just, hey, I'm Mike. How are you? I'm doing.
Here's
you
my
know,
card.
Yeah, exactly. It
Yeah,
doesn't.
but now you can
This
say
is
to
a wacky
anyone in New
Steve.
York City that we were on.
That's
on-
true too. I could use the validation of the two of you.
Yeah.
You notice how
to support
Chris
that.
is like using himself as like, I was on, so people were gonna.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
no,
sure.
He's probably more important than me. So,
More people will know.
Wait, who? Chris? Yes.
Oh, you mean
No, you just mean Brew York?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Brew York.
Mike.
No, I got
Hey,
it.
we know
Hey,
that
Chris,
guy.
I got pushed the other night for a fucking emperor of beer when I was over at Secretog. There was a guy that was like an emperor, right? Mike, what was
Emperor
he?
of beer.
Oh no. You got pushed off because it was distinguished.
A distinguished emperor from
No,
fucking
it wasn't an emperor. I didn't
Berlin.
say- no, it wasn't an emperor. No, it was a dignitary.
All right.
Yes, dignitary. People that were New York State. He was a Grand Master beer judge and a Cicerone.
It was Funkmaster Flex,
Yeah,
Chris.
better than this
all right,
this
all right.
guy.
It was Funkmaster
screaming about
Flex.
Funkmaster Flex. Yeah, I'm gonna take his word over that. But yeah, in the future we'll definitely be looking for something like that. So I'll talk to you about that. And of course, Chris, where is the next location? This is the big. Everyone wants to know. You were just
Yeah,
in
it's like, where's
Tennessee.
your next brewery?
Where's the next location going to be?
Wilmington,
I want to
North
know.
Carolina.
So you're creeping up on $2,000.
Yeah.
So we just talked about this. On the
Yeah,
way
yeah.
up here.
Do you have it all mapped out where number 2,000 will be?
Not
Gun Hill.
Not.
You
Wait,
should
it's
definitely
been
do a
there already.
podcast.
That's been there
It's already been. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Chris,
you
you should
can't
do a
qualify
podcast
that.
for the 2000. You know that.
So
Nah, he's
I
not
just-
like that.
I'm telling you.
He's got his own like.
He don't have 33,000
He's got his
followers
own-
like fucking Gun Hill.
He's got his own. He's got his own a measurement tool there.
So I have an idea of what I want to do for 2000.
Okay.
Um,
Is it extravagant?
It's not extravagant. The thing was, so for 1000, I did Jester King.
Oh, okay.
And what I did was I flew into Austin like 2 days before, so I could hit some breweries. Like I showed up
build
there,
up
I was
to
at
that,
like
yeah.
990, so I could do like 10 while I was there.
What if one was just closed and you're like, fuck, now what am I gonna do? I gotta have a backup plan.
we had to run from number 998 to 999, so we could get there before it closed.
Okay.
So we could go
The next
straight
day
to
to
Chester King.
Wow.
That was Austin Beer Works, and they were.
You got every single
which
one
was
of
also
these.
very
You
good.
got every single one of these stops on here on Instagram.
Yeah,
Yeah.
calculated.
Yeah, So
Number
2000.
1752, you were at Sabruco in Athens, Georgia.
Southern Brewing Company.
butchered
Yep.
the shit
Oh yeah,
out of
yeah.
that
You,
one.
you saw
put it
you
in
saw
some
the.
you put it in some girl's pooper in the bathroom. No, I'm kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding, Chris. Just a little joke. Sorry.
The good old dirty South.
Apologize. Apologize.
The old brown note of the
Yeah,
South.
done ruined the
1756, you were in fucking
brown
West
note,
End
yeah.
Brewery.
Get your grain.
Yeah.
You were at the West End Brewery in Beer is Wild's Heaven.
Yeah.
And you met some girl and you were putting it in a pooper too. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, man.
There's a lot of
Keeps
poopers.
going back to that.
So what was you thinking about your plan for 2000? What were you going to say?
So there's one that kind of rises to the top for me. It's one of the 20 largest breweries in the United States.
New Belgium?
Nope.
Lagunitas.
It is only distributed in one state.
You've never been there.
I've never been there. You
hold
know
on.
exactly what
I've
I'm
been
thinking
there.
about.
Hold
Oh,
on.
you've been there.
I have
Yeah,
been there.
yeah.
I actually went to a wedding in that town.
Oh,
These two are going to be
wow.
fucking bromance soon.
They are. They're good friends. They came in a carpool
We
together.
had two
Carpooled together.
carpooled?
Yeah.
we did.
Oh, that's fucking nice. Hold hands. Sing kumbaya.
Hold on. Now, let me think of what this is. Top 20 brewery doesn't distribute outside the state.
Yep.
And it's large enough to hold a wedding.
No, I wasn't at the wedding. It was in the town that it's in.
In
There's
the town
nothing
that's in.
there's
Although
nothing
it's definitely large enough that you could probably hold a
Oh,
wedding
you
there.
could have. Yeah.
Yeah.
And one you haven't been to at all.
It's one I haven't been to.
And that obviously it'd have to qualify.
Barrage.
So think about it this way.
He's been to Barrage.
Think about it this way. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was Barrage was Brewery 856 for me.
Wow.
I looked it up.
looked it up before
I looked it up before I came
No,
in.
I don't expect
I
you to
remember that
memorize
off the
all
top.
of
I remember all the numbers off the top of my
That's
head.
good though.
I'm
That's
reading
a
it right
1,000
now.
breweries
I'm
ago.
reading it right now. Something about the fucking beer tasting like piss
Wait,
water. No, I'm
think about
kidding.
that. Wait, just time out, because that was 1,000 breweries
That was
ago.
1,000 breweries ago.
1,000 breweries ago.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I know.
And how long ago was that?
2 months ago.
Just before we close.
No, 1,000 breweries. How long? Has it been 4 years, 2 years, 1 year? What do you think?
So I went to brewery number 1,000 at the end of 2016.
No, was that long ago?
So you're at
But
18.
still, it's 803 years.
Yeah.
Or 4 years going on.
So last year, oh no, sorry, it was 2017. It's the end of 2017 that I did number 1,000.
That's even more
I did,
impressive.
So yeah,
Fuck.
so I did 420 breweries.
Dude, you're
last
in
year.
Winnipeg?
Yeah, I was in Winnipeg.
You're a fucking king.
So
An animal.
so I was at my 418th brewery and on December 30th and for the year last year, and someone said to me, "Oh, you should really do 420 breweries this year. That would be kind of funny." And I'm at my last brewery of the year. There's no way I'm going to be able to get to 2 more this year.
And they dragged you to 2.
And
right there and
then everyone came out on social media and was like, "Why aren't you go to this one? Why aren't you go to this one?" I have friends texting me being like, "Oh, I found a brewery that's on the way to the airport." I was in California. I'm like,
crazy.
when's it open to? They're like, "Oh, it's open till 10. You can
Perfect.
hit it." So
I can hit it.
So okay, so brewery number 2,000.
Give
wait.
me a hint. So
Yeah, again.
Geographical. hint.
Yes, okay.
Midwest.
Midwest.
Yep.
Okay, so Kansas, Missouri?
So here's
the state that the
Top
brewery,
20.
The state that the brewery is in.
Yeah.
Had a team in one of the championship games.
Baseball?
No.
No.
In one of the
Clemson?
conference, one of the
Clemson?
conference championship games. Professional conference
bring it to
championship
sports.
games. There's only 4 choices here.
Yeah, I know.
And one of the teams was in California.
Yeah. So it's got to be. Well, that's why I said Kansas City off the bat, but that didn't work. And
you
what
know
was
it's
the other
not-
one? Tennessee? No,
No.
it's not Midwest. We're talking about NFL, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's only one choice.
Yeah. Who am I? And that's what I'm trying to think of. Who's the other
You're
team?
missing a team from the NFC North.
NFC North.
Seattle Seahawks.
No. Green Bay Packers. So
Yes.
you're in
Yes.
Green Bay, Wisconsin. Not Minnesota, so it's not Surly.
Nope.
Which is not.
Been to
You've
Surly.
Been to Surly.
Been to Surly a couple times.
Wisconsin.
Love it
Green
there.
Bay, Wisconsin.
Surly, that's another one you could do if you went to a
Shit,
baseball
how come I can't
stadium.
fucking put
Well,
my-
you
I
said
should know
brewery
it right away.
1502 is McFate Brewing in Scottsdale. Lovely place to sit outside. Waitress was really, really cool to us. She had big tits.
There
Beautiful.
you go.
spring
That's-
And then he did it into pooper.
How about this? They're two flagship beers.
Yeah.
Moon Man and Spotted Cow.
Spotted Cow should do it. No, I don't think I'm going to get it because I'm probably too far thinking something else, and it's just clouding everything else.
Just take a guess.
I don't even it's top 20. That's what's really.
See, you might not even know it's top 20. It's crazy that
But I've
they are
gone
one of
through-
the largest breweries in the United States, and they only distribute in one state because that state drinks so
Wisconsin.
much
Yeah.
damn beer.
The town.
Oh, really?
There are only a handful of bars in the town.
I should fucking just know it.
There's a bar in the town. Like I said, I was.
It's
there
not
for-
like Dale's, that keeps popping in my head. I'm going, it's not fucking Dale's.
That's Colorado.
Yeah.
All I know is I just stole another beer from your package.
That's fine.
No, don't
Chris, all I gotta tell you is
No, you got to be careful with that one.
No. He can drink it.
No, that's a 10.3.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
be careful.
How you doing, officer?
No, but I want to taste
I
that
thought he
first.
took-
I
I
only
thought he
have
took
one of
the other
those.
light.
I want to taste it. You can have some. I don't have a problem with that. I didn't taste it yet.
See, I thought he took the
Yeah,
other
trade
light.
with me. Come back in here. I'll trade with you with
I'm
this.
not trading. I'm pouring.
All right, pour some and then bring it back in here because we got to end the show on that. It's already 11:30 and I got to go home.
I told you.
Oh, that's what he took.
I don't think I'm going to get it. I really don't think I'm going to get this.
Do you know it?
I have.
Some people forget the name of it and they just know Spotted Cow, you know?
I know.
Like,
and
I mean,
that-
even
I
people
can't
in
think of it.
Wisconsin only know, like, oh, yeah, it's Spotted Cow. It's a brewery. It's kind of like how, like, people refer to New Belgium as Fat Tire.
Right.
Yes.
You
Yeah,
know,
it's
the
Fat-
same.
it's
It's
Fat
the same
Tire.
situation. They're so well known
I'm not-
for their flagship beer. That
Don't tell me. I'm going to look it up, but I'm not going to say anything. No, because it's going to feel more satisfactory over you telling me and then me looking it up. But then I won't say it.
Originally, I was thinking New Glarus.
You're correct.
that you're correct.
Fuck.
Because my wife loves New Glarus.
Okay.
She doesn't drink beer, but when she had Serendipity, everything changed for her. So the first time we went to GABF
That's crazy.
together, she just went on the line for New Glarus and got her drink, went to the end of the line, and just kept going, and just kept same thing. And
that was like when
And
I
so
took
as
my
I'm
dad to a beer
fucking
fest
looking
and he
at the
did Jack
can, I
Sabby
know
whole
the
time.
artwork. I've seen it a million times. It just, to me, the New Glarus doesn't stand out. It makes me think of Heavy Cannon or something like that. Just the way the artwork is,
Oh,
it
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
really stand out like that. So
I didn't even know they canned that beer.
Oh,
I
yeah,
thought it
they
was only
can it
bottled.
now.
yeah. I remember seeing it, and I went, "Oh shit, they can it!" But they, again, not sold outside of Wisconsin.
Yep.
So.
So now you're at 1875, right?
Yep.
1875 was Bolted Beer Works in Knoxville, correct?
Correct. Yep.
Had a tasty brunch here before heading to the airport. Waitress
Fucking
was
just
super
read his
hot.
posts
Waitress
on the
was-
air.
waitress
Everyone
was
should
super-
go to it and
I'm
read
not
it.
done. Waitress was super hot. I don't think she was wearing panties.
There you go. All right.
And then we did it in the pooper.
And it ended up. Everything ends up in the pooper.
What? How did this end up that way?
It always does. It's the way it is. Welcome to Graz
I must
World.
have been really drunk when I wrote that post.
Graz World.
Something about super hot
So
waitress.
really, so New
The
Glarus,
last one I have here is it's Equilibrium. It's triple IPA, Middletown Waves. They came out with 3 different triples when I was there. Laboratory Waves, something other with the Waves, and the Middletown Waves, and they were all 10%ers.
Yep.
And I got every
Triple-
single. I
triple
got
dry
every
hop.
single.
So
Triple
3
dry-
ounces.
Triple dry hop. Triple of what?
Triple what?
But it's over the top juice bomb there.
Mr.
so.
Gun Hill, what's the biggest? What do you have on tap right now? What do you got going?
Yeah,
on?
and that was one of
how
my
many
questions
taps?
I always ask people, but I try to
14
vary
taps.
You got 14 taps?
14 taps.
So I walk in there and I got my hot chick on my side right here.
Your wife.
And the 2
My
dead
wife.
ones in the
in the
It's
trunk.
Sunday afternoon, and I want to go light, but go strong. What am I ordering?
You want to go light but
yes,
strong.
That's
strong.
interesting.
Like my wife likes it light and strong.
So a thin dick with some hard pumping.
Thank you. 4 minutes of hard
I
pumping.
saw right through that.
4 minutes of hard pumping. I didn't say thin dick, all right?
minutes.
I'm girthy. Leave me alone.
They called him the sea scallop.
He says, "I got a 12-inch penis around."
If you
Think about it.
Does your wife drink sour beers?
No, she's a Coors Light dummy.
Well, then she doesn't like anything strong.
No, yeah, she likes something light.
What's the year, the 1776? What is
Spirit 76?
Spirit 76.
That's our Pilsner. Yeah.
That one's good.
That's what I would.
My wife
either
liked that
or,
one.
So that's a light Pilsner, right?
Yep.
Now, what's the APR on that? It's an
APR. The APR.
You fucking still are getting people with that.
The APR.
That bit has not ran out in 3 years.
It's been 3 years. It's called an APR. It's not an APV.
Fantastic.
What's the APR?
We're gonna get cut off in 4 minutes, so hurry up.
Oh, well, what's
ask
the APR?
Ask your APR.
Yes,
only 4.8.
So
Yeah.
that's good. So that's nice for a summer day.
Yep.
Well, and then Graz has got to do his final, where you can get Gun Hill.
Yes.
And yes.
All right,
So
you
you know what?
You got like 3 minutes.
I'm good. Happy birthday. Thank you for
Thank you
throwing
very
me
much.
my beers.
Yes.
Nice to meet everybody. When you
Thanks,
go
buddy.
to the Bronx
Yes.
and you want some hemp,
There it is.
you go to Gun Hill Brewery
Yep.
and hang out and have a couple of beers.
I like it.
And then you hang out with Chris from Brewer 2, whatever the
Brew
fuck.
York. From Brewer 2.
Brewer
yeah.
2.
Brewer 2.
Good job, Chris. We'll hang out
That's
one
what,
day.
that's what I sound like after I go to 9 breweries in a day.
Yes.
Brewer 2.
Well, that was the point.
Hey, what brewery are you on? Brewer 2.
Anything else you want to promote? Anything else outside of that besides the businesses? Anything you want to talk about?
No,
Awesome.
I think we've covered everything.
Pretty much.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, Graz, happy birthday.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah,
Appreciate you for coming
nice
in.
seeing you guys. Nice to meet you,
Nice
boys.
meeting you.
I enjoy you. Stephen, good job by you. And Michael,
Yes.
as always, the greatest beer show in the
Thank
world.
you, sir. And
It's
listen,
the word.
thanks for everyone for calling in. Dennis Murphy didn't call in, which was very interesting.
Good.
And of course, we had 4 different scheduled calls. No one of them called in, just you.
And Mad
Actually,
Dog.
someone did call in. And we
we-
accidentally hung up
yeah.
on them at the beginning of the show, but
Yeah.
I don't know how that happened.
But you got to tell these guys. Like,
It's
they
okay.
got to know that
It's
they
fine.
think
It's
they're going
fine.
to leave.
Listen,
they're
I got
not
this.
leaving when I walk in.
I
They want
got
to hang
this.
out.
Not
Gun
worried
Hill
about it.
wants to hang out with
We
me.
had plenty of good talent in
Gun
the
Hill
studio.
wants to hear when you go to the Bronx and you get some hemp, you go to Gun Hill Brewery.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
All right, it's the Word with Mike at PeteGovsRadio.com. Thanks for everyone for joining us. Our show will be live to edit and available in podcast form on Spotify, on iTunes, on the Laughable app, on Hopped Up Network, and of course right here on our home station, GovsRadio.com. And our video is live on GovsRadio.com YouTube page, but it will be edited down to podcast version for the Wort with Mike and Pete's YouTube page. So thanks everyone for doing, gentlemen.
we
Thanks
wish
a lot
you
for
good luck,
coming
Pete. We wish you
all the
good
way
luck.
from the inner tubes of the city and the bridges that connect everyone to it. And Steve Pominski, thanks a lot for filling in for Pete. We appreciate that.
We love you, Pete.
All right, buddy. This is the Word with Mike and Pete. GovsRadio.com. I think we out.
Well, that's 2 hours of your life you're never getting back.
First off, it was 3 hours.
What the fuck? Honestly, how can you talk about beer for 3 hours?
It's beer. There's so many elements in it.
Where's mine? It's been 3 hours and I don't even get a single beer.
You don't get shit.
This is The Wort on Govs Radio. I hope you're drunk enough.